at 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on SoldierByBlood.com, home of underground entertainment and the voice of the movement.
Your number one source for exposure and promotion. You want to host your own podcast? SoldierByBlood.com. You want to know where the hottest artists are? SoldierByBlood.com. You want real support? SoldierByBlood.com. Go to SoldierByBlood.com for more info.
Fuck that bullshit, back to the loo, pussy, good luck. I expose weak cats like a Polaroid picture, selling dreams to the masses, you offer her bitches. Claiming stars stole your style while you raping your team. Your team running schemes, straight lane, skinny jeans, culture hopping, janky promoter, ticket sales ain't shit. Can't collab for real, cause you all suck dick. Claim you got the plug, claim you gang like you thug. I'ma snatch the rug, smack your ass like I'm sure. But I ain't claiming blood, I'm a soldier, my G. Keep my name in your mouth, now you gotta see me. Yeah. It's me against them, it's me against you. Your crew and my crew, we ain't playing games, it's fuck you. You talk a whole lot of shit behind closed doors, but when you see me in person, you act like a hoe. It's me against them, it's me against you. Your crew and my crew, we ain't playing games, it's fuck you. You talk a whole lot of shit behind closed doors, but when you see me in person, you act like a hoe.
I'm screaming fuck every nigga that ain't in my main circle. Say you won't smoke with that Don, I up that Hoppo colors purple. I be sliding through that loop with that ski, cause I'm working, boy, it's me against the world. And I can see Pac vision perfect. Don't say oops, we bless on purpose. My demeanor make them nervous. Hit that gas, it got me swerving. Matter of fact, that nigga urgent. 5-9 cane, I put that work in. Talking greasy, slide in person. I'm that nigga they call certain. Big blood cane, let's make them earn it. Yeah, 30 shots to hit a nigga house. Let's bring them niggas out. Money bags on niggas' head like wild stallions running out. Cut the check or shut your mouth. Or me and Tweezy gon' run you down. 3 and 4 to the mad town. Finna show these niggas how I get down.
It's me against them, it's me against you. Your crew and my crew, we ain't playing games, it's fuck you. You talk a whole lot of shit behind closed doors, but when you see me in person, you act like a hoe. Holy shit. It's me against them, it's me against you. Your crew and my crew, we ain't playing games, it's fuck you. You talk a whole lot of shit behind closed doors, but when you see me in person, you act like a hoe. Hoe?
Yeah, welcome to the Philosopee Show. It's the philosophy with the council.
Play your part.
Not yet, Queen. We gonna do them. We gonna get that. What's up, TYM? Hey, man. I want everybody to be welcome to the Philosopee Show. It's 12:30 here in the mood, and I hope y'all ready to open up y'all minds. But before we get to that, man, I'm here with the council. Shout out to Green Girl STL. Yeah. Rec time. She at the STL us and all the nominees, good luck, and I'll leave it at that. Yeah. I got, I know y'all been keeping my stats on Facebook. I got a little something in out. And I'm gonna keep it professional, and I'm gonna say what I got to say. Yeah, do that. The first thing is, I think I'm gonna have to address it before I address it. Yesterday at Pops was the most rawest experience I ever had. So I want to give a motherfucking shout out to 25 Light Winners Gang. Everybody that was on that stage. Shout out to Brady. Shout out to all of them because they represented what this culture is really about. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave that at that. Now, we're gonna get a little personal to myself. You know what I'm saying? I already put out what happened with my city, my music, and so about we are not together for no years or anything anymore. Alright, so now, you know what happened after marriage? You know what I'm saying? So let me tell you this, I've been fucking with Kiki for 6 years. 6 years. That's a long time. It's a long time. A long time. Alright. So, Kiki want me to be quiet. So first thing first, I'm gonna tell you, you don't run shit over here! Alright? That's one thing. You don't run shit over here. That's number one. Number two, we having a little spat over something called this equipment that's in this bitch. I threw you some money. I ain't gonna disclose what the money is. I'll tell y'all off the air. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna disclose it. I ain't gonna tell nobody right now. But I threw you some money. It was a fair amount. And he came back with some extra shit. So when you come back with some extra shit, now I got to come back with all of the shit that I put into my money. So it costs way more than what you said. Got it? So what you should do is accept this breakup, call it even, and keep it moving. Sound about right? Sound about right. Yeah, keep it moving. All this back and forth, you this, do let it go. You let it go. Because I'm good over here. And this is what I'm going to tell him, and I told all of them. The Most High has me. I never needed anything from you. So let me, and since you want me to be quiet, let me talk to all those Mr. Charlies over there, all these, what you call them people who pro-black in front of you, but you're licking just to kick it ass or whatever the fuck you doing over there. Let me talk to y'all too. Let me say this to you. This is how me and Kick It became partners. He was up in this bitch getting played by everybody that was in here, crying to Tweezy, the Don. You had grown men in here that didn't pay for shit for about 6 months, and you was still coming in here engineering for him, crying to Tweezy. So what did Tweezy do being Tweezy? I cleaned fucking house. I cleaned motherfucking house. And this was 2017, bitch. 2023. So you know when you fuck with Tweezy, you got expanded, right? Right? When you burnt out, who took this motherfucker over? Payment, didn't ask you for shit, didn't do nothing. Tweezy. If you want to check the paper, I got the paperwork. All I'm gonna say, and it's real, and we can, whatever you want to do, and it's like this. It's a business, we're doing business, let's settle it business-wise. Don't email me, don't call me, talk to my fucking lawyer. Got it? Because I don't want my music, motherfucker. If this over some equipment that depreciated over 6 years, we're talking business. It done depreciated.
Great work.
Because I do taxes. I do my taxes every year. So when all the equipment that I bought, the value goes away. So I can't claim that shit. I can't. Only claim it until it's gone. You know what I'm saying? So we on some business shit. This how we get down. I wanted to vent on that a little bit because, I'm real like that. I'm not hiding shit from nobody, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't like going on social media putting all motherfucking business out like that, but I think this is appropriate for the situation because a lot of these people in St. Louis, in Metro St. Louis area, Hillside, all of that, y'all not doing business right. You're not looking at the people who motherfucking looking after you. The reason why the real reason why me and Kickin' ain't cool no more, and y'all can go check the motherfucking footage on his shit, is when it was time for him to step up and say, hey, Tweezy is my business partner, and you're not gonna come on my show and dog them because we are partners. That's why we're not. That's why my reason we ain't cool. Sorry. And people can say that's personal. Yeah, I take my business personal. If you ain't got my back, why the fuck am I putting all this into your motherfucking shit? The bull. I need, what y'all think? Somebody.
Sound right to me. And just let me just put that out there. This is Daddy Rich speaking. Let Tweezy and Justin hash out whatever business they have to hash out without everybody jumping on some dick riding lame shit. Let that go, y'all. Leave that shit alone. They ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Let that shit go.
Okay. Dang, Floyd, what you think, bro? Talk to me. Because a lot of people just scared to talk. I don't get it. Read it.
Shows about that. That was in my city, my music. And let it go. Let it go.
Let it go, bro. We ain't in no competition with y'all. We don't give no fucks about that. You know what I'm saying? I told him to talk to him. I said, look, I can keep promoting you. We can act like none of that shit happened. But one thing I'm not gonna do is go cap on shit no more. And call me about the problem. But none of that. Because you got your people over there who can do everything that you pretty much, well, let me say it like that. When you did not have my back, you let me know that you have people over there that can do it.
Sound about right.
Right?
Sound about right.
Sound about right. Sound about right. So if you good like that, what's the problem, buddy? So, but Tiago, I know y'all don't see Tiago too much, man. So if you want to speak on that a little bit.
Everybody that's involved and a boom. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be involved unless it was one of the two of them. So let them two handle that. What is how you feel personally.
I always like to keep things peaceful, man. Business is business, and sometimes, business relationships are growth. So that ain't necessarily a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? That could be a good thing, for both parties. That just shows expansion and growth. So everybody gonna have their own opinions, because everybody, been down a long road with each party. So everybody gonna have their own opinion about the breakup. It's just like any breakup. If you with your wife or something, motherfuckers gonna be mad and feel certain. Motherfuckers gonna feel a certain type of way. But at the end of the day, man, let's keep everything professional, man. Keep shit moving, man, because it's all supposed to be on a positive movement for the culture. Why is y'all bringing all this bullshit into play any motherfucking way? That shows one, negative energy only shows one thing to me, and I said this one time before. Motherfucker, stop worshiping the devil out in this motherfucker. Because we finna get into this show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got to say. That's how I feel about it. Stop letting that negative fucking energy in and fuck up a good motherfucking thing.
Hey, tell them.
Perfectly said. Decisiveness. Decisiveness.
That's me. I just wanted to get that out the way, and I got some good brothers here that spoke on it. And you know what? From this day on, I'm done with that situation. If we're gonna talk, we're gonna be through lawyers, or we're gonna be going through court. I'm not on that no more, because you know what? There's a lot of good shit going on, and I'm so happy.
Here to go.
And I'm happy for you too, Kiki. So do what you do and keep doing what you do, because you know what? I can be honest, you spark something in me. That's why I own this thing. So that was all me though. That was all Most High. Because I had the vision before I even met you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I've been representing artists. When I got back in the game, I had a camera, and I was going to Pops, I was going to Boo Bar, I was going to, what's this clothes over there in New City? Cicero's, you know what I'm saying? All of those places with a camera and taking pictures of artists who wasn't getting promoted at any shows before or after. You know what I'm saying? I started there. You know what I'm saying? I sat back and I prayed on it. And look where we at still.
Here to go. Yeah.
So don't come to me with just like that was being said, man. And it's true for me too. You know what I'm saying? All that negative shit, I'm done with it. I'm tired of it. You know what I'm saying? I want to be around people who are really about the culture. Not no motherfucker who trying to use
Not the
motherfuckers.
vulture.
Yeah,
culture.
there you go. Say it again.
We about the culture, not the vulture.
Not the fucking vulture.
You know who I'm talking to.
Man. And my thing is, a lot of y'all want me to be quiet because I be speaking the truth about situations because I fuck with people for real. So anybody I talk about, I fuck with them. I fuck with them. Like, I fuck with them because that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? So when motherfuckers do that shady shit, they don't want me talking about it. So they can keep getting over on it or they can feel good about themselves. Well, you know what? You should feel good about yourself anyway. I ain't feel bad about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Feel good on that. Alright. So, yeah. Who we got in this motherfucker is the guest? Who we got? We got YKBN and we got Tiago, man. Before we step into, because we got a subject that's coming on that's good to YKBN and that is, you know, in their lifestyle. So we don't get into that. It's something that we talk about the album. You know what I'm saying? Because I listen to both of y'all, and both of y'all have a hand in how I feel today about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell the story. But praise the stew, man. Praise the stew. You know what I'm saying? But we don't need to go ahead and recap. Last show we discussed how us affected us. See that, go back to Story About Blood television or the Philosophy on Facebook. Today we're gonna talk about the importance of learning. Alright? So we kinda hit it a little bit last week, but we didn't get to it. And I want to start, because this is great. I know this is great for Yucca. I want to start off with Yucca. Hoping we go a little bit into what did you learn?
What did I learn in school?
What did you learn?
I learned a lot, man. I learned if you want to go into like school curriculum education, I learned ABCs 1, 2, 3s. I learned a lot, man. how to talk to females. You know, my whole little social structure is on.
On top of that, what did you learn besides social? I'll talk about that a little more too. As far as their curriculum, how did they help you? How did what they taught you?
Well, the basics here is, you know, the English, basic English. You gotta know how to communicate with different nations people. You gotta be when you talk about like algebra and all that old shit, you I don't know what to use for that. I have not. When you talk about I mean science is all good, you know, you gotta know how certain chemistries work together, but when you get all up into it, so I say the biggest thing that I've learned out of it is how to use my brain, bro.
That is your science question first, but what you learned?
Man, you know, I was, you know, as I call it, I pimp the school calls. You know what I'm saying? And that's not towards women. But I got what I needed out of it. And the biggest thing I got out of it was focus. You know what I'm saying? Another thing I got out of it is what I tell my niece and nephews. The amount of education, whether it was in the classroom or out the classroom, and the people you're around, is going to set your wages.
The second question is that everything you learned in school, have you applied it outside of that now?
The focus, yes, definitely the focus. And you know, it was classes you took because I went through as we products of the tech, you know, so that tech knowledge that I gained helped me now when I didn't know it would. You know, I was like, okay, what am I doing in the school system? And tech led me to the technology department. You know, so I can use that and apply it now.
That's college.
Yeah, that's college.
I say school, now you know, yes, right? I'm talking about, when I say school, I'm going to go.
Well, yeah, because I could college is a different ball.
It is, yeah. College is definitely different.
I ain't talking about college.
Yeah, I really went talking about college, but that's a good point because I just expect you to take it. You gotta go.
It taught me how to communicate even though I wasn't a good communicator. And that was because I was an introvert.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So I learned a lot, but at the same time, I internalized everything. So nobody ever really saw that or knew it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but it definitely taught me communication. It taught me teamwork.
Okay.
You know, because in school, all throughout school, especially early on in school, like what you're talking about, 1 through 12, especially early on, 1 through 5, and then 6 through 8. Man, those are them real building block years where you really start learning the teamwork in it all. You know what I mean? And then if you go on and you play any kind of sports, You know what I'm saying? Which I did for a hot second. You know what I'm saying? And then got cut. You know what I mean? Because I was on something else.
What
You know what I'm saying? So,
what sport you
basketball.
play?
Basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah. I was more focused on other stuff. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So,
Like language and shit.
right,
Body language.
yeah, man. But you know, I feel like when you look back on it, man, school actually grooms you and make you into kind of the person that you really see in the mirror right now.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like in a lot of ways, when you look back, it's like those earlier lessons that you learned. You know, growing up from the people that passed you would cross, who otherwise you probably wouldn't have never seen in life. Because I went to school with a lot of people who didn't necessarily live in my community, and I was cool with them. You know what I'm saying? So you got to see what the other side lived like. You know what I'm saying? So I learned. I was exposed. You know what I'm saying, to another side too. You know what I mean? So
What schools you go to?
I went to all city schools, bro.
Okay.
But you know, back when I went to school, it was, you know what I'm saying, that's what it was. It was more diverse. You know what I mean? I went to Wyman, I went to Grant, I went to Roosevelt, I went to Parkway West for a brief moment, then back to Roosevelt.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it
Belt
was just,
side?
yeah. So again, all through the end, it was just a lot of white folks, man, that was bust. Just like we was bust, or, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, yeah, man, you know, I learned a lot, bro. Like I said, there was a lot of them building things, you know, that's why you learn tolerance, too. That's another thing.
Say that shit.
Tolerance, bro.
Say that shit, goddamn it. Say that shit.
Tolerance. That's like one of the biggest things you learn in school. Is
Or
tolerance,
no
bro.
tolerance.
Exactly.
How much?
Right, exactly. Right. Real talk. So,
Right.
most definitely.
Same, Floyd. Same.
The mystic.
What you learn in school, brother?
One of the first things I learned, I remember Langston Hughes. I learned how to write, but to get deep in depth, you know, I learned how to read and real deep with comprehension. Because at first I couldn't read. I could read, but didn't really
comprehend what you
want to
read.
comprehend
You were just
what I was
reading to
reading.
read.
Yeah, so I got set in a different class, and that's when actually the writing and understand. I became from behind to one of the best, I guess.
So you telling me that special class shit work?
Yeah, it do, bro.
Ain't that
Some
about? I
everybody
used to talk
don't
about motherfuckers in that
focus the
class,
same,
man.
you
I
know?
feel bad now.
Hey, we had a whole fight with them motherfuckers.
Damn.
But I don't know if it was that. They was more behavioral.
Right. We all should have been in that class. We all had some behavioral issues and
Strong
shit.
kids, Tweez. They strong.
Man.
Yeah, but not now. That's
Nah,
cool.
I wouldn't.
No, I ain't saying
It's
that.
what it was just what it was. I was just put to myself. You know, I learned the difference between like segregation, whites, blacks quickly. You know, I learned the difference between fortunate and unfortunate in school.
That's real.
You know,
That's real.
I learned how to keep my head up, and I knew family was strong, you know, especially coming from the South, all my peeps, and they coming to the Midwest. You know, shit, I knew friendly wasn't being friendly. Real talk, but you know, I learned the basics in school and all of that. But deep down inside, school only taught me what I was interested in. If I wasn't interested, I ain't make it. I ain't finish school and regular. I ain't make it all through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was D-Seg out to Millville to play ball.
Was you?
Yeah, when I was growing up, I did sports, you know what I'm saying? And I remember all the way back when we lived on McCree, I used to play for 12th and Park, I went from basically experiencing being on an all-black team to being the only black on the team. So, and that's basically coming up to 6th, 7th, 8th, then deseged out to Millville just to even play ball and don't even play. You see what I'm saying?
Really?
So that
I was deseged too. I was
and don't
deseged.
even fucking play. So I learned shit.
Let's see what we got. We got a call. Let's see what we got.
That's
Who we got on the line? Who we got on the line? Who we got on the line? Hold on. Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
No, hold on. Let me see something. I can hear you, but hold on. I can hear you on
Okay.
speakerphone. What the hell? Oh, somebody's moving shit. Let me put that back over. I probably moved it, not knowing it. Hold on.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
I think this green girl, what's up?
Wreck time. What up,
what's up,
sis?
dog?
What's going on? The council is together.
I'm listening. Y'all trying to get ready for this. What you thought we talking about? Now, I came in on the end. I believe you were asking about what everybody learned in school. Is it this elementary school, or we talking?
We're talking 1 through 12.
1 through the shit. I learned a lot. What do we want to start?
Now go ahead, talk to us.
Scholastically, because I did go to schools, like, I went to Hazelwood back when it was like the cream of the crop.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went from there to a few other schools, and I will say that there's definitely a difference where the money is.
Okay.
And you can see that as a child, even in small things such as school lunch or the events that they have and field trips that they have. You learn people really quickly, but when I was in the county, they focused on a lot of history, a lot of your history, your English, so on and so forth. But then when I got to the city, because I had to do city education as well in my 12th grade year, I basically was just taking a bunch of math and science, and that's interesting to me because it's the way it's presented to you. People that are in the city, they want them to focus on math and science, but I don't see that everybody's doing it without being in the street, if that makes sense, if I'm saying it correct.
Mm-hmm.
But out in the county, they wanted us to really focus on how you speak and seeing different points of view, and that's just strange to me, because why wouldn't you want both across the board? Why would
Right.
one focus one way here and not the other?
Mm.
But you learn socially a lot as a kid, and I think that's more the thing that they want, especially now, is the social impact. You take a child and you move them from one area to another, and they see how people are treated in both spaces. Interesting to watch.
Okay. Yeah, you hitting it right on the nose, man. With that question, man, all of y'all hit it. And like I got focus, you know what I'm saying? Comprehending communication, you pretty much social structure. We all talked about the communication, and I want to jump on comprehension because St. Floyd, I was in the same situation you was. I just wasn't they didn't put me in a class. A teacher actually made me understand comprehension, because I was doing, I don't know if what I said that was really what you doing, but that's what I was doing. I was just reading. Like I was just reading it, just like, let's say, going through the motions of reading. I'm just reading it. Then when they ask you to go back and ask you what I read, I had to go back and reread it like 3 or 4 times because I was just reading it. But once I figured out, okay, And it seems very simple it seems simple.
I had a teacher, her name was Miss Hoffman, that actually spotted it. And actually a librarian, Miss Collins, I never forget them. That's who actually.
My dude was the Mr. Potash. He was a fucking what you call him, exterminator. Did bugs after school. He was an exterminator, but he was so whatever he was on. He used to have this motherfucking swoop, bald head swoop, and he used to eat chalk. Not eat it for real, but he had this tick where he put chalk in his fucking mouth, man. But he taught like, I forgot what he taught, but it was some type of American literature class. You know what I'm saying? So we read a lot of good shit in there, man. So I had that comprehension situation. I always tripped off that on my tests to see if I'm picking up on that. So once I figured that out, shit was really gravy after that. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it just be simple shit that we don't even, if you in school and just going through the motions and you not learning for real, it's you just there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna ask another question since we got Green Girl on the line. Do you think homeschooling better than traditional school?
I think that it depends on each individual, and I also think it depends what you want your child to learn. I think that as a culture, this country specifically, because I'm only from this country, we place so much value on school, but we don't really truly understand the purpose of it. They really never meant for kids to be in school for very long. They just needed somewhere for them to go so the labor could get them scratch. And when you start looking at how much and who can learn what, that's when you start thinking about homeschooling. I had my kids young, so when I was 16, I was pregnant. I'm a straight A student, I was happy. And I did my best at home when I wasn't able to be in school because I was very sick when I was pregnant. And I came back to school after I had my baby straight A's on honor roll. Matter of fact, my first day back to school, they was having an honor roll, what they call assembly.
Yeah.
They was doing an honor roll assembly. And everybody was like, ooh, fuck, they forgot who I was. 'Cause I was
Like, who is this?
and it benefited me so much because I am smart. And at that time, I don't know what it's like for kids today. I think kids have a little more sense about things today. But I know back then, the nerd, the smart kids get so big because you're smart. I did so much better at home than I did in school because socially it wasn't for me. I can't do things about people still don't. You know, I don't really have to be friends with anybody. I'm okay and comfortable with that. But at the same time, it also depends on home environment.
True.
Is the person who's going to teach the child going to really teach them? What do you want your children to learn? What's regulated and what's not regulated? So, right now in this climate, I don't have small kids, but if I did, I would choose to homeschool because right now they're removing so much. Just imagine what we didn't know that our parents were trying to push down, or our parents were trying to push to make sure they kids knew. There's a big fucking gap of things that we knew in the 80s.
Yeah.
80s babies is a big gap of shit we didn't learn.
Yeah.
And now everybody has the privilege of being there. You can go look that shit up. You ain't gotta have it like to teach your cancer. You can take your ass right online and do your own research. Look for the sites that are actually properly cited. You know what I'm saying? I think today's climate is looking smart, especially when you're looking at the social aspect. What's going on? What kind of community do you live in? Is it something where you're trying to send your kids out? Would it be dangerous? Then it's so acceptable for the guns and the shooting. I would really want my kids at home.
Right. I'm with you on that. I want to go to YKBN on that, man. What you think? Do you think homeschooling is better than traditional school?
Now, if you would have asked me that question when I was in school, then I would have said, man, homeschool. You think I want to go?
Right. I'm with you.
But now, it's a new time, bro, a new day and age. And it's been a lot of flaky shit going on, man. You know what I'm saying? And I don't give a fuck if you're a conspiracy theorist or not. You gotta admit, it's been some flaky shit since COVID going on, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm a parent that's in the shit. I have kids that I'm dealing with that's in the schools and shit. And to answer your question, I think homeschool is a very much better option, but I gotta have a big ass butt there because, you know, I don't know if a lot of people know this. I gotta agree with everything that Green Girl was saying, and I'm just add a little bit. Like, people don't realize that they give away certain rights when they put kids into the school system. It's like the school is your kid's parent when you not there. So when you're not there, they can allow like this is social workers, different people that you wouldn't necessarily want to talk to your kid. That would allow them to talk to your kid.
Yes, sir.
Your kid ain't qualified to answer no questions dealing with the family.
For real.
But they disregard that, and they go straight to the kid. And a lot of people, if you look at like the statistics, look like how people lose their kids is 9 times out of 10 is usually through the school systems and shit. Now, keep in mind, some of this shit need to happen.
Right.
Now, I'm not taking away from that, but a lot of these cases don't need to happen.
Right.
I looked up social structure. Is it better to have like the social structure in school compared to the social structure at home? A lot of people think like dealing with homeschool will fuck up the kids' social structure.
Yes, speak on. I used to think that.
Statistically, kids that are homeschooled have better social structures than kids that go to school, because you know it's a lot of shit that go on in school that fucks with the social structure, like bullying.
Right.
It's the biggest thing that they are fighting in the school systems is this bullying issue.
It is serious. It's always been a bad issue.
And
Always
yeah, right. And that fucks up the social structure. I had a situation to where, you know, I teach my kids, I don't never teach them to go to school to fight at all. Right. But I teach them to go to school to, first of all, protect themselves, because they are their first line of defense. When the teachers ain't looking, these kids be getting down in these classrooms. The kids is their first line of defense, because we ain't there to protect it. And like I say, the teachers, look, I was a teacher. I am still a teacher. But in the classroom, I was a teacher.
Okay.
And a lot of these teachers go to school just for a paycheck. To be a teacher, you need to have that love for children. Okay. You need to want to fuck with kids. Yeah. And some teachers ain't got that. You see? So it's easy to see how certain classrooms can run wild.
Correct, yeah.
When that is going on, the kids gotta be able to protect themselves. If a kid fucking with my kid gotta learn how to
protect themselves.
If that situation come about, don't tell my kid that my kid wrong.
Yes.
And discipline my kid.
Yes.
Can I add something, YKBN?
Yep.
It's not just kids that bully kids either. It's grown people that bully. Because I had a teacher that literally fucked with me all of 7th grade, to where my mom had to go up to that school to tell them, look, it's me or this bitch.
Hey, Green Girl, you know what? I'm happy you said that, because that's actually a good look. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
Because we got things that adults deal with that kids don't understand, like racism. Kids don't understand racism. That's something taught to kids in the household. It starts there first. Their parents are fucking racist first. And the kids learn that from the parents and bring it to school.
That lady told me I couldn't use my left
Boy, you made me look at you on that.
Yeah. That goes on though. More than you think. More than you
What's the right
think.
hand thing? Was you in a Catholic school?
Never forget her. That.
Was that a Catholic school? Was that a nun?
No.
So you couldn't use your right hand?
It's the slave mentality. They want to continue to put this slave mentality on the motherfucker, man. What I ain't gonna say now, but this is what it was. Yeah. Like when I was in school, like when they'll show you the movie Roots and shit, you know what I'm saying, in school and shit, and they thinking that all the kids gonna feel the same. I went to a school that had all different type of nationalities in that motherfucker.
Right.
You see? And people that looked at like me, we felt a certain type of way.
Yeah.
And people that looked at European, they felt a certain type of way. Mm-hmm. And we felt a certain type of way against each other after we saw that type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like the young child that's Muslim. Like my daddy people Muslim. When I was in school in Kansas, I was in school in Kansas 1 year. During Ramadan, we were asked to going back to school.
After we saw that type of shit.
Ramadan, they had us talking about how to tell them to not let me go to lunch. So I was raised Christian. So I didn't understand any of it. So I had to sit by myself in the classroom. And it wasn't like my dad would come pick me up or nothing. I'm just sitting there hungry.
Wow.
Damn.
Nobody understands why. And they don't understand why I'm having a hard time focusing. And they ain't understanding why I can't pay attention there. I'm struggling.
Wow.
What do you do with that? When I watch Naveed's dad comes and picks him up and takes him away for the day.
Wow.
I gotta sit there. And they don't know what to do with that.
Damn.
All right, let me get to some more people. Daddy Rich, you want to speak on what we talking about, man?
Yeah, I've been there in these last 4 or 5 years, and I've encountered all these situations. Mm-hmm. But what I want parents to understand, you still have those advocates in there for you and your child, like myself.
All day.
I had an issue where the kids love me. So I go in the classroom to do monitoring, and this young lady who has issues with, the math and the reading, and, every time they say, hey, Mr. Shaw, help me, I stop and help them.
Okay.
So this teacher rudely came and pretty much dismantled what I was trying to do. So I went and turned her in.
Okay.
Because I ain't shy.
I like that.
I'm grown enough to, go through whatever it is after that. But from day one up to now until I come up out of there, I will always be an advocate for your child. Absolutely. Even YKBN know his niece. Yeah. I was advocating for her too, because it's a thing with me about prior relationships built. I had a prior relationship with her uncle that I come to find out when we was coming to Soldier by Blood, you know what I'm saying? But to keep it short, I'm always be an advocate for your child in there. The problem I have is the one size fit all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Each case is different. What I've seen is that if what you're trying to do in the school system, in the school building, in that 8 hours, does not directly affect the home, which they are in the rest of the day, which is 16 hours out of 24.
Yep.
We got them for 8. You got them for 16. If what you're trying to do and instill in this child doesn't line up with the parent and affects the home directly, that's where a loss in the development of the child happens.
Okay.
But I'm going to say this again. I'm always going to be an advocate for y'all kids, man. I love y'all kids. And I thank y'all for sending them where I am. Every single one of them.
What we like to hear. We appreciate you teaching. Where do you teach that? What did you teach that?
Rondelet Learning Center.
All day. We appreciate that, man. That's a noble thing to do. You know what I'm saying? And you right. You should. If you don't like kids, it ain't about wanting to. Well, It is about wanting to teach, but you gotta love who you teach.
You gotta love the kids.
That's why the teaching it don't starts in the school institute. This teaching actually starts in your household and in your communities. You got teachers all around you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why I say I'm still teaching. I'm still a teacher.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Tiago.
Oh man, hey, I'm just listening to y'all, man. I ain't really got nothing to add on this one, brother. I'm enjoying. I'm soaking it up, bro.
All day. Same Floyd. That's hey, we like that too, bro.
Yeah.
that's the best.
The philosophy with the
All
council.
day.
Yeah. Saying good, but teaching is transformed. That's something to me you actually really gotta want to do. And it's called stand up and speak what's right. Cause if you ain't teaching right, you're gonna teach wrong.
Yeah. Do you think traditional school or homeschooling, which one you think would be better?
I'm gonna have to go with homeschooling
Okay.
these days, and I can say that because my son did homeschooling. He progressed.
Okay.
When he was at school, so much shit to take. It was a distraction.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much shit going on. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
You
So,
know?
did you homeschool?
No, he had certain teachers and certain people that came
Okay.
throughout the times he wasn't in school. You know, undisclosed reasons. But other than that,
most definitely.
throughout high school and all of that, when he was out of school, he advanced. He did better. And when he was in school, he was distracted. That's just plain and simple.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay.
You know?
All right. Well, you
can
heard
I say a little something
go
about
ahead.
that? I gotta say something because I know I do agree with homeschooling, but like Sang said, I'm a parent that actually tried the homeschooling with my kids, and you know, it's obstacles, man, when you do switch from the public school systems to homeschooling.
Okay.
You know,
Talk about it.
the kids miss their friends.
Yeah.
That's the biggest obstacle that you're gonna have to deal with. Not to mention in this time frame, if you're trying to do it, you coming right after this big COVID thing, and the school systems is just getting their thing back together. So when you talk about it like that, they already had just missed like how long of school?
A lot.
So you know what I'm saying? So trying to take them back out now, I ain't never seen a wanting to go back to school from kids like I'm looking at right now. You see what I'm saying? Kids want to go to fucking school, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Don't get me wrong, but it's a bad time. Damn, because we done just figured out homeschooling. We could do that, and the kids that homeschool actually turn out a little better.
Real talk.
It's already been discovered. Ask the homeschooling community.
Yeah.
And that's nothing.
That's the social aspect. That's them wanting to hang out with each other. That's the social part. That ain't even the education.
Right.
They need a meeting place, really.
Right. But that's what like homeschoolers got to get together and get that part of the puzzle. Yeah. We got to put that in there. Okay. But like I say, I broke. Damn it. I'm like, look. We're going back to Hazelwood. I'm put y'all back in this motherfucker. Stop asking me. Right. It's okay. But you know, I'm a homeschool half the time too, though. I'm gonna keep the homeschooling there too, because I'm real big on homeschooling, because I know that the public schools is missing out, and their curriculum is pointed towards what like certain people we ain't trying. It's not towards our best fucking interests. I'm gonna put it that way. It's not the curriculum ain't our best interest, man. You know, in certain schools, like if you think about like what are private schools teaching? Why they private? What are they teaching that we not learning? And why the fuck when they get out they get these science jobs and fucking they astronauts and shit?
Hey, so let me go. You going right into, because that's what I'm sparking. That's the point of sparking this conversation. And you are absolutely right on that. And I do believe this, and I don't care what nobody say. I mean, school is creating workers. You know what I'm saying? That's what they doing.
I think that's what it was made for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're creating
Indoctrination
workers.
into the corporation.
And prison.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
the prison.
Yeah, exactly.
If you
One or
if
the
you
other.
look at it, if everything they do in the prison, they do in school.
So let me ask y'all a question, because I'm glad that you said that.
Mhm.
I read a lot of Ayn Rand. I don't know if you all are familiar with the author, very old, but a lot of her books were about how communism works without saying.
Uh-huh.
And what you're describing to me, like, this country thrives on, we don't like communism, we don't like fascism, when that's all we're looking at. Because honestly, if we're being truthful, how much power do you have of your own? Because it don't matter what social structure you in, the uniform is still the same. I don't care how people think they look different, they don't. They're all wearing the same thing. They all have the same thought process. Each group has the same thought process. And all of these people came from schools and entities within the schools that manufacture that. So would you not call that a communist? Like, are we not communists in that way?
Yeah. Yeah, you are correct. I believe you are correct. I got a question for all of y'all in this one. And I want to see the answer to it. Because I want to see how many no's and how many yeses. All right? Now, I'm talking about from 1st to 12th.
Okay.
Or we can even go preschool if you even going to go there. Well, give me, and I'm going to start with Daddy Rich. Well, I'm going to start with Green Girl, then Daddy Rich on around. All right? Was you taught finances from 1st to 12th grade?
No.
There's one no.
No.
There's 2 no's.
No.
3 no's.
Before I answer, I'm glad that you asked that question because that was something that I was finna get off into with the last little bit. No.
There's 4.
No.
That's 5, and I'm gonna make it 6.
Well.
Hold on, let's go back.
Well. You mean
Did you learn?
legitimately taught finances?
Well, you know what I mean.
Well,
ain't
we
gotta
all
go
was.
there.
We all probably
Okay.
learned how to write.
Count money, yeah.
Probably all
Count
learn
money,
how to write
out
a check, and
yeah.
and same thing. We
But-
learn how to mail a
No, we
letter.
talking. You
But,
know,
yeah.
we talking about legitimately finances.
Nah.
Yeah.
Because you know, I was.
TY, we got us a studio audience. TYM, was you taught finances from 1st to 12th? Oh Lord. In what class? What school you go?
Finance, it was hard too, and we had a big book, and then we had to keep on.
Well, I know what you learned.
From
Come on, you on the
From the
Philosophy
finance,
Show,
from
bro.
the finance.
What did you learn in finances? In what grade did you learn it in?
I remember.
Don't look at Yucca.
Yucca being taught him at Athletic Academy.
Go ahead.
It was like finance was like it had to do with businesses and stuff like that.
So you didn't learn. No. All right. So we got. Go. What you say, Green Girl?
How old is TYM? Because they didn't start incorporating finances
Yeah.
until like my kids got in school.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
How old
yeah.
are you? 26. He 27.
Yeah, so he might have got it.
That's about right.
Yeah,
Okay.
he might.
Oh, okay. So he ain't bullshit.
Yeah, he
Right.
might have got it. I was thinking about it.
That's pretty accurate. I'd say they started talking
Okay.
to them about businesses and stuff around 10th and 11th grade.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Because that's
Okay.
what that was my whole thing about school in the beginning.
Okay.
Was if they really not trying to indoctrinate you and make you into workers for the
Yeah.
corporation, why aren't they teaching you these things? Finance, entrepreneurship, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so I'm glad to hear that there are some that they doing that now.
Yes, and we appreciate that, TYM.
Yeah. That's
All right. So, but we gonna stick to where we wasn't taught that. I know I wasn't taught finances until I got into college.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then some of the finances, I ain't gonna lie, I learned on my own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Majority of the game.
I was at Webster.
That's about right.
Yeah, that's
you
about
said
right.
Webster Grove. That's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shout out to Webster Groves for teaching finances to my boy TYM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. I think if y'all got anything else to add to that, well, no, I got one more. So we ain't talked about college. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk about college now, and I know. Well, I ain't even asked my own question, so I'm gonna just say this. The question is, was it worth it? And I want you to talk about it a little bit. For me, I went to Battle Rock for building maintenance and HVAC. You know what I'm saying? I'm a trade guy. I wasn't going. You know what I'm saying? That's just what
We
like.
trade guys.
Yeah, we get down like that. And then I hit. I went to Herstow. So I started at Herstow. I hit Forest Park, and I went to. That's how I found out I was a trade guy. Cause I wasn't really that. That was like high school type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I hit Battle Rock. Then I did ITT Tech and took that bachelor. You know what I'm saying? Project management and electrical engineering. And it wasn't worth it. No, I can't even say that now. It was worth it. Because I was gonna say it wasn't worth it because I didn't get no engineering or project manager job. But that's what I'm doing right now.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was worth it. And I wasn't going to get a job. I already had the plan of being in the union and financing whatever I'm doing through that. You know what I'm saying? Getting the right amount of money because I can, the Most High blessed me with that mental. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't going to school to get a job. I was going to school to learn the skills to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was worth it. You know what I'm saying? So what about you, Daddy Rich?
In the long run, it worked out, as we can see now. But man, I had a ball, man.
Yeah.
And the basis of college is not necessarily the paperwork or the degree.
Correct.
It says that I can finish what I started.
Man, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Me and Tweezy went ITT Tech. And I got a electronic engineering tech degree. So it aligns with where I am now.
Yes, sir.
But coming up that road, I was just going to, like I say, the amount of education you have and the circle you're in is going to set your wages. I was trying to set better wages from coming up in a poor family.
Oh, dang.
Set a standard, that we ain't just what they say we was gonna be, type thing. I heard all them Sunday conversations around the family. He's gonna be like his daddy, but we see that ain't it.
Oh, dang.
You know what I'm saying? I might dress like him a little bit when he was young, but as far as being like him, in mentality, I do because I'm a family guy, and that's what my dad was. But yeah, man, everything I learned in college, I'm able to apply now, and teach the people who wasn't able to go to college, shall I say, as fortunate as I was to go to college. So when I'm in my field now and they partner us up, I always pick what some would think the weakest link, because I could show him or her how to really do this and educate them without it costing them like it cost me.
All day. And I'm gonna stick on this for a little bit and then get to Green Girl on her experience. So IT, have you got your money back from them?
I'm trying to figure out how to get it back because I know I'm qualified for a full refund.
Okay. Cause didn't you send me the shit?
Yeah, that was for the forgiveness of the loan type thing that the United States government is blocking now.
Blocked, so that was that.
But we still qualify to be forgived and a refund.
Yeah, but that's why I say, man, all praise is up, bro. For me, I know it is because my step through ITT Tech, You know, I don't know if you know how people used to take time off because they had to wait on the next class to come, or they didn't want to take and all that. It worked out so well for me to where the point was when they closed, I got my bachelor's. I was like one of the last classes to get their degree.
Right
You know what I'm saying? 2016, I can't forget it. Got my shit. And you know, they just refunded my shit back. I think it was like last year or something. And they refund all my shit back to me, bro. So all that shit is took off my credit and all that shit. And it was only, it had to be, it's the most high, bro.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was going to the military actually to use the GI Bills and all that shit to get that paid back. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't know who in the military, they don't pay for all that shit. They don't. So don't get fooled like they gonna pay all your, unless you got like $5,000 worth of student loans, and we know that's not
right. That scratches the surface.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm all praises up. Hopefully, hey, look into that, bro. I don't know how it happened, but I thought it was the same. I thought it was what you saw, what you sent
I thought
me,
it was
bro.
all the same.
Yeah. So, but keep pressing.
Yeah,
on
I need
that
that money back.
Yeah. What year you graduate?
2000.
Oh man. So you was way before. I'm 2000.
Man, I was on Missouri when they ain't even have grass.
Oh yeah.
Some of the first classes to graduate out there, they ain't even have grass out there. Richardson and Vogel.
I know what
Straight
it
down
said
55.
Too.
Yeah.
I used to ride by that bitch.
Man.
Green girl, what's up? Well, was it worth it?
I might have been to damn near every school there was. I started in her, so I went to Missouri College on a dental assistant. I can't do shit with it. The school closed down. Ain't nobody running me no money back. And let's see, I did Columbia College, but they made their financial aid department made some errors, and what I dislike about colleges, when they make errors, they sure the fuck don't like to own up to it. That's a hefty ticket that they stick you with.
Explain that. What happened?
You know, you get motherfuckers that have jobs, and it's a job. But when you make big errors with the financial aid shit, there's no advocate for you. There's supposed to be, but there's really not. You are your own fucking advocate. So I can't force you to go back and revise shit.
Right. Wow.
And I was fucked over before by Columbia College, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
I did, I've been through the little community college circuit. I was doing health information. I only had one semester left, but I was over it by then. I've done St. Louis College of Health Careers, because I'm a CNA. Then when I work for school now, but we merged in SSM. Before we merged in, I did the Cannabis Management and Operations program. So I've been to school for a little bit of everything. And because I applied off, it was more life lessons than anything else for me.
Okay.
It's always monkey see, monkey do.
Man.
You can teach me anything. That's why YouTube University is great, because you don't necessarily have to be in the building. But you do need to understand a certain structure when it comes to going to school, but it all really helps form who you end up becoming, what you do with it.
Oh,
and it also made me measure respect different. I do a lot of healthcare. So, yeah, I don't have the degree, but technically, we're being honest, you still got the same space. And I've worked next to incompetent physicians, and I've worked next to incompetent nurses. And then I've worked next to great nurses and great physicians. The education is not what made them great.
Got you.
Who they are and what they choose to do with it is what makes them great.
Man, so real. So
real. Kiddo.
All right. Y'all got Tiago?
Well, I'll say this, man. I'm not going to knock anybody because I promote higher education. However, for me,
high school was enough for me, bro.
All day.
I realized once I got out of high school, man, I was gonna have to get it out the mud.
All day.
You know what I'm saying? And I was okay with that.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? But again, there's been times throughout my life I done flirted with going back, you know, getting the trade. You know what I'm saying? But so I don't knock it. Like I said, I'm an advocate for higher education, because I mean, even beyond that, I always was self-taught as well. You know, all through high school. Again, I had a whole nother curriculum outside of what I was learning in high school.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The shit that they don't teach you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yeah, you know what I mean. So I don't knock it at all, man. I just realized what I was doing. But I'm an advocate for it.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, I'm definitely an advocate for higher education. I feel like you can utilize. But what I say is, just like I told my children, if you do go, and I always told them to get a trade as well and do it and take it up and do something, apply it to use it for something for themselves.
Oh, damn.
Not to work for nobody else, but to apply it for themselves.
Man, there we go.
I said, even if you either go to a college, the same thing. Don't go try to get a degree, you know what I'm saying, just so you could join a rat race. Get it so you could get your LLC and all this, that, and the other, and put yourself on the books and get out there and invest in yourself, especially while you're young. Because at the end of the day, it's always a job for you. It's always somebody out. There's always a job for you somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so why not invest in yourself while you young?
All day.
You know what I mean? While you got that time to gamble and go out there and figure it out, because you just not know. In 5 years, you might be rich. You know what I'm saying? Before you even 30 years old, you know what I'm saying? You might be paid, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you done totally avoided all of that. So
All that
I just say
bullshit.
gamble on yourself first.
Yes, sir.
And then
That's
worry about all that, because that's what's going to be left for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
All day. I like that. Same, Floyd.
Nah, I'm good for real. I work at a college though. I ain't go to college. I mean, I ain't gonna say it's all the same experience, but the impact that it has taught me that even though I work at one, having to be an impact is on a college campus, that I do have the impact to change the way they feel and how they go about their day, because they're home away from home.
Yeah, okay.
You know, on stuff like that.
Right.
That's what I can say.
All right. Man, I thought I talked to you.
Nah, we ain't talk
Go
about
ahead,
it.
Yucca
So
Bean.
I
Get in
gotta
that bitch.
Gotta get mine in.
Yes, sir.
All right. So college.
Mm-hmm.
College is why and who I am today.
Okay.
You know, I learned a lot before college. You know, of course, that brought me up to college. You know, right? But all the shit that you learn in high school, when you get to college, it's a little different. They'll teach you. They'll teach you like the thing exists in high school, but when you get to college, they'll teach you how it exists.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I learned in high school that it's colors.
Yeah.
But I learned in college that it's different wavelengths.
To go with them.
You know what I'm saying? The way that the sun go off your eyes, and there is no such thing as a color for real. You know what I'm saying? This is what I learned in college. When you go to high school, they'll teach you that something exists.
Right.
But when you get to college, they'll teach you the real shit about it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So when I went to college, I started off. I got a information technology degree, but I got mine from Rankin. I started in ITT Tech. I started programming first.
Okay.
You know, but programming, in order to do that, your life got to be programming.
Got you. Yeah.
My life ain't structured like that. You know, so I still wanted to do computers though, so I went end up, switching going to Rankin, and I got that information technology degree. But that wasn't enough for me, because I started to work, and corporate America is cool, but it ain't like me.
Yeah.
I'ma just keep that at that. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted a little more. I went to her store. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I did my teaching thing at.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Hold on, we gotta give. It's the HBU, baby.
Yeah. Her story actually told me a lot. You know, one of them classes, you know, they got your major class, of course, but then you got your gen eg, gen eg class. And you got to go to them motherfuckers. You know, you got to go to them standard classes first, and you got to pass that shit before you can get to your major classes.
Correct.
All right. So in one of them standard classes, one of these history classes, I learned about like history. You know, Martin Luther King. You know, I learned his real thing. You know, what he was really about. You know, I learned in school that he exists, but I learned in college his real thing. You know, who was Martin Luther King. I also learned like the Louisiana Purchase, the real thing about like how this motherfucker was taken and shit. You know what I'm saying? I learned the real stories about these types of things. Slavery. I learned the real true thing about like slavery. I want to speak about slavery for a second. A lot of people think slavery was harsh and real fucked up. I learned that in school, then with the roots thing. You know what I'm saying? Slavery was fucked up. But when you get to college, they teach you that slavery ain't so fucked up around the other parts of the world.
Correct.
People around other parts of the world used to run to slavery because, like in the wilderness, an animal would eat your ass or some shit. You needed some type of shelter, some type of way to eat.
Yeah.
So that's what they ran to slavery for. But slavery was a time frame; it wasn't forever, you know. And then you probably got some type of land or some type of compensation at the end of your slavery.
Yeah, it's called
shit.
Actually, you was actually working.
That's what it's called here.
Yeah.
That's what it's called here, but around the world, it was slavery.
Yeah.
So when it got here to the United States incorporated a new form of slavery, which
that they got from the British.
Right. They form of slavery was more brutal, and it was more long term. So the difference in this slavery, the difference in this slavery was that it ain't no 7 years and you get some property or some shit which was indentured service. That some people that ran into that type of condition went and got into indentured servitude.
Yes, sir.
But in like the quote unquote African Americans, they shit wasn't indentured servitude. They brought a new form of slavery there, which included this new form of killing motherfuckers that made the world look at the United States like, damn!
This how y'all doing it?
You know what I'm saying? You know, so that was different. You know, so, all right, I learned that in school.
Gotcha.
You know, and so that actually taught me a lot, which it actually made me to start digging deeper into shit. You know what I'm saying?
What year you was in her store, if you don't mind me asking?
Her store, I was in there around 2012-ish.
Okay.
I'm lying. Like
I sure look like that's a little early.
2006, 08-ish.
So
around them, around them. I'm saying.
Was Matai? When was y'all? When was you Matai there, Matt? He was there too, but I was there with him.
I only fucked with a few motherfuckers.
You know what I'm talking about though, right?
Man, yeah, I know what you're talking about, man. But yeah, I only fucked with a few motherfuckers. So if you wasn't in the basketball and shit, because I was always on the court fucking around, you know what I'm saying? Or not even in my classroom. I'm like he said, I'm introvert. I'm a loner, man. I've been like that. If you know me in high school, you know that about me. You know what I'm saying? If I fuck with you, I fucked with you. You know what I'm saying? I knew a lot of motherfuckers. Don't get me wrong, but I'm an introvert, so it was like that in college too.
I was just asking, was he there with you at that time?
I don't know.
You didn't? Okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't? When you meet him? When you meet Matt?
You talking about Mentia?
Yeah.
I met Mentia on the street. That's a little bit after that.
Oh, so that's after.
Yeah, that's a little bit.
Okay.
See, that's a little bit.
That's all I was asking.
Yeah, that's after I got into digging a little bit about like the fabrics of this shit. You know what I'm saying about like the United States.
Yeah. Only reason
how they got incorporated.
I went to school with him.
Like that.
I went to her store with Matt.
I know he went to her store, but I ain't go.
That was after that though.
Yeah. I met him way after all that.
Continue what you saying.
Yeah. So then I when did my little thing, we declared my nationality, when they got ordained as a minister and things like that, and that led me around like to this path of walk of life that I'm in right now. So going to college is life changing, and it changed my life. It made me think in a whole different realm, a whole different spectrum that I wouldn't have thought in the high school spectrum.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Man, we getting deep. I hope y'all ready to be here for a while. It's already down 2 o'clock, bro.
That time.
How you feeling, green girl? Did she have to leave?
I'm good. I'm over here trying to get people out and in together to go home. Show up.
All
Green
right.
girl, you smoking? Wreck time.
Okay. All right. We're going to go to a quick break, but before we go to that break, man, Daddy Rich, you want to go ahead and hit that straight out the book?
Yeah. Straight out the book. I'm still on the wisdom lessons for what we've been on there about 4 weeks now. 4, 5 weeks.
Yes,
So today I have Proverbs 19:8. It reads as thus: the one who gets wisdom loves life. The one who cherishes understanding will soon prosper. And that's along the lines of faith without works is dead. Why gain wisdom if you're not applying it to get the understanding? That's for my youngins. You know, when OG speak to you, it's about wisdom. It ain't about sunning you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about little eyes, big U's. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's just about passing the wisdom on, which is what the people before us did for us. You know.
No doubt about it.
Shout out to Rob Soul.
Shout out to Rob Soul, baby. Hey, we're gonna take this quick break and then we'll be getting into some more straight out the book. We'll be right back.
Play your part. Play your part. On the beat. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. You want me to kiss your ass? You fucked up. Nah, shit, you can kiss my ass. Got me fucked up. I'm on this little mission. I'm destined to get it. I don't play with no luck, boy. I got gas in this bag and I don't pass no fuck, boy. You fucked up. Nah, shit, you can kiss my ass. Got me fucked up. I'm on this little mission. I'm destined to get it. I don't play with no luck, boy. I got gas in this bag and I don't pass no fuck, boy. I know a lot of niggas. I know a lot of bitches. They all be lying and they nail one of them. Bitch, they all dick riding. Fuck your feelings, it ain't no secret. Focused on my pockets, you gon' fuck around and catch this game. I keep my grass cut. Niggas don't play by the code. Motherfuckers don't know loyalty. They on straight bitch mode. Just want solo, I ride solo. And don't fuck with none of you hoes. You can't ride with me, you can't smoke with me. Hell no, you hoes can't go. I'm pedal to the metal when I'm grabbing hold from my team. They swear they on some hot shit, but I swear they on some off shit. Moving in silence, don't look for congratulations. Motherfuckers don't fuck with you like they claim. You want me to kiss your ass? You fucked up. Nah, shit, you can kiss my ass. Got me fucked up. I'm on this little mission. I'm destined to get it. I don't play with no luck, boy. I got gas in this bag and I don't pass no fuck, boy. You fucked up. Nah, shit, you can kiss my ass. Got me fucked up. I'm on this little mission. I'm destined to get it. I don't play with no luck, boy. I got gas in this bag and I don't pass no fuck, boy. I'm flexing on these bitches like what? Ain't no calming down. I got that good shit in my cup. I don't play with fuck boys. Don't get me started, bitch. I came to turn up. What the fuck is my Bulgari? Late night in a drop top with the roof gone and a black hot look taking over on this side. My head been jumping like all night. Give me the pack, I'm platinum. You ain't playing with no rookie. I'm the pack, I'm an antidote. See, read a sweet like a cookie. I can't wrap my mind around this hate. You screaming real love, but we know it's fake. You talk a lot of this, and you talk a lot of that. But that shit that you be on, I can't relate. You want me to kiss your ass? You fucked up. Nah, shit, you can kiss my ass. Got me fucked up. I'm on this little mission. Play your part. Play your part, baby.
It's the philosophy with the council.
Yeah. What up, Saint Floyd? How you feeling today, brother?
Blessed, bro. Feel great. Shit, like the it feel good. I feel like outside. You know? Straight up.
You ready to do your thing? I heard a little bit.
Yeah, I'm ready. What's up, Council? How y'all doing, brothers?
Yeah.
Good.
What it do?
How you doing?
The mystic one.
You hear me?
I guess I feel hot, warm, cold. Appetite big. Sometimes people don't know. I got to be who I am. Change the name to bring pain to line. The game won't change. But although it changes in every direction, sometimes a nigga like me, I feel like collecting. I've been on flame for a long time. And people out here, they ain't really seen the mind. The expressions of thoughts, unaware, being prepared for anything that's expected. But the unexpected, I don't neglect it, won't regret it, and it's much affection. Sometimes I got to be myself, react to the fact till there's nothing left. And everybody need help. You ready to play the cards that you was deaf?
Yeah.
Anytime you can flow. Just be thankful you can ask a dealer for another car. Imagine if that dealer wasn't there. So you gotta thank the F for your share. Or can you just be there for another piece of that F? The next day, for every 24 hours, manpower, everything sweet, nothing sour. Sometimes these guys be pie. Just blown away. Another day. Just another day. So I'm thankful for every breath that I take of this air. Expressions of a thug, T-H-U-G. F-L-O-Y-D. Reverse the S, the A, the N, the E. Better yet, the 3, the 1, the 4. Or the D-O-G.
Yes, sir. I hear you. I hear you, bro.
Expressions.
All day. All right, y'all. I know we having a little sound technical difficulty, but it's all good. I hear you loud and clear. I can hear you on there. That was Expressions of a Thug by Saint Floyd, baby. Yeah. All right, man, we're gonna extend this straight out the book, man, because you know I'm a very spiritual individual, and you know I like to learn about everything. You know, I'm not what you call it, closed-minded to spirituality. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too much on strictly religion. You know, that's just me. But how you doing, brother?
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Good.
Was this the address for a video shoot today?
Yeah, they over there.
Across the street?
No, they over on that lot over there.
Next door?
Yeah, you can see them. They got the barbecue going.
Okay.
All right, no doubt. We're gonna keep that going, man, because it needs to be talked about, and you know I'm always hip on knowledge, so that's why we have Brother YKBN here, and then we got Daddy Rich here gonna speak on it, and it's an open discussion, but I really want them to explain their points of view on the salvation of us. You know, what do we have to do in you guys' eyes to be saved? And since it's your, you know, This your section. I would like you to start it off.
Wow.
And y'all have a dialogue. You and brother YKBN have a dialogue about it.
No doubt, no doubt. First, it's crazy that you said salvation, man. And the first thing I typed in my browser was salvation.
Wow.
Not playing. That's how you know who orchestrates this thing. You know what I'm saying? But I want to give you Acts 4:12 from the point of view of me as a Christian, which is follower of Christ.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So Acts 4:12 says, "And there is salvation in no one else, for there is no other name under heaven given among men by which we must be saved." So to elaborate on that from my Christian point of view and how I was raised is we believe in Jesus.
Okay.
So that's the name that references, you know. So with that being said, being a follower of Christ, which is Jesus Christ, that's where I put my hope in.
Okay. All right. YKBN.
Absolutely. Well, I did grow up as a Christian in the Christian institution and things like that. And like I said, I learned a lot when I went to college. And that's one of the reasons that led me down this path that I'm in. Jesus, a lot of our people have a longing to want to know who our Father is. So when we went through slavery, we got taught a lot of things from our captives, and this Jesus thing was one of them. Not to say that that the Most High don't exist. Christians, our people have a misunderstanding about like where Christianity originated from and what Christ really means. A lot of people, a lot of us don't know about like Serapis Christ, and he was here way before Yeshua. Jesus didn't exist in the times of Yeshua. As far as, and this is nothing against my brother Daddy Richard, you know, I got much love for my brother. It's a problem with a lot of our people. We're just, we're misled. I want to take this time, if I can, to give a little knowledge about, like, who Serapis Christ is and, like, the Bible in itself.
Okay. Before you do you know who you're talking about?
Serapis Christ.
A lot of us
That
don't.
wasn't
Look,
a
can
part
you
of
look
the
it up
teachers.
on Google? Why I'm discussing this Serapis or Serapis? Okay, why he's doing that? Okay, cool. So the Bible is the book. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's the book the Christians. It's their worship. The book of worship. It's the Bible.
Is that?
Is that, correct me if I'm, anything that I'm
It's the
saying
doctrine.
about, because I know it's a delicate subject and a delicate situation, and I'm not here to offend or anything like that. I'm just here to educate. So that Bible is what Christians go to get their information, right? About Jesus and everything, right? A lot of us do go to the Bible to get that knowledge, but we don't have an understanding of what the actual Bible is. We just look at it as that book with a whole lot of pages, and we don't realize that it's a book that's made up of many books. And it's an actual history behind that whole book, and it's wars that have taken place, and it's manipulations that has been done to the books. It's been books taken out, it's been books putting in. And it's an actual place, an event that happened called the Council of Nicaea, and it's a man named Constantine who led this Council of Nicaea, who actually came up with this Nicene Creed that these Christians rely on today with this Holy Trinity, and this is what Christians get this from. And a lot of our people don't know this, but this information needs to be known. And when you find Serapis or Serapis Christ, I want you to read who Serapis is. All right. Now, before you do that, let me go back to the history of the Bible. The Bible comes from Moses. It comes from the Most High, and it was given to Moses on the top of Mount Sinai.
Now, do you believe that?
Oh, I understand that part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that agreed on by Christians?
I can't speak for all of them, but I understand the
But
information.
is that in the Bible?
Yeah. Mount Sinai, right?
Mount Sinai, yes.
Moses and tablets.
Yes, the two
Yeah,
tablets.
that's in there.
Okay, just because I want to I want to make sure that I'm staying on page.
Yes.
That I'm not, we're not going left field with none of this. And I want to, if I'm talking to, I know you're a Christian, and I know you are knowledgeable, and I got a lot of respect for you. So I know if you know what you're talking about, then a lot of Christians out here can relate to what you're talking about if they know what they're talking about. That's why I verify things with you. All right. This is called, if you believe in like the Moses thing, the Moses story, okay, so let's talk about that for a second. The Moses story, he was of the nation of Israel, where most would consider an Israelite. And correct me if I'm wrong. Are you familiar with the Moses story? He was of the tribe of Levi. And Levi is one of the tribes of the nation of Israel. Okay? The Most High came to Moses to do a certain thing. Are you familiar with that thing that the Most High asked Moses to do?
Enlighten me.
He asked Moses, okay, hold on.
Is this about freeing the people?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
leading his children out of Egypt.
Yeah, he actually, yes, he did talk to him about leading his people out of Egypt. I want to get that, but I don't want to spend too much time trying to get it. But the story, I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna read it because I don't want to just speak out my mouth. I'm gonna have scripture, so everybody can read what I'm saying. Yeah. But the Most High asked Moses to go to the Pharaoh and let his people go. All right. Okay, so if you go to Exodus, the book of Exodus, chapter 4, you could turn to that book. And I have a Bible up here if y'all want to turn there, because we Christians go off the Bible. And I want all the Christians to hear this. And I want Christians to be able to read this because they enter Scripture. And Scripture is here to back everything up. But Exodus chapter 4, verse 21 says, "And the Most High said to Moses, as you go back to Egypt, see that you do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in your hand, but I am going to strengthen his heart so that he does not let the people go. And you shall say to Pharaoh, this says the Most High, Yisrael is my son, my firstborn." Yisrael meaning the nation of Yisrael. If you're not familiar with Yisrael, his name was Jacob. His name got changed to Israel, which is the same thing as Yisrael. I don't want to go through a alphabet lesson with y'all, but the Y is the I. It just got changed, so it's Yisrael. He had sons. His sons are the different tribes. All right? And these different tribes, their descendants make up the nation of Yisrael. All right. So the Most High is saying to Moses at this point, tell the Pharaoh that this nation, this Yisrael nation is my son, my firstborn. So I say to you, let my son go serve me. But if you refuse to let him go, I am going to kill your son, your firstborn son. And that's the beginning of the Moses story. So the Most High asks Moses to tell the Pharaoh to let the nation of Israel go so we can go in and serve him. In this time, this is where Moses, and you're familiar with the Red Sea parting, you know, that's where the Red Sea parted. And then at the end of this whole thing, this is where Moses go up to Mount Sinai and get the instructions from the Most High, these 2 tablets. And these are what's considered as the 10 Commandments, all right?
Yep.
This is where it starts at. So you go down, and the Bible is constructed of learning about these 10 Commandments, which people think that these are our laws, but the laws is the whole first 5 books of the Bible, which is Genesis, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Exodus, and Numbers. These are the first 5 books of the Bible. These include all of the laws, how to govern yourselves as the nation of Israel. And it's not for the whole world per se. It's for the nation of Israel to learn how to govern themselves. These are who these 10 Commandments are for. This is who Moses was speaking to. And this is who all this is for. All right? Not to say this is not for the world.
Right. I got a question before you keep moving, though. So, to govern ourselves.
Yes.
That's what the first 5 books is for us to govern. It's used for us to govern ourselves.
Yes, that's how you learn everything you need to know about life and how to govern yourselves operating in the nation of Israel. See, right here where it says the Most High want his nation to go and serve him, this is how you're taught this in those first 5 books, how to serve him. This is the rest. See, those are called your laws. The next section of the Bible is called your prophets. Your prophets come along, they're talking about the laws. Correct me if I'm wrong. Your prophets talking about the laws, what's going to happen if you do the laws, what's going to happen if you don't do the laws. They're there as like a light bearer. All right?
Now that's the part I wanted to get to. So go ahead. And do you what you think about what he's saying so far?
He going.
Okay. All right. And the next section is your writings. Okay. And the writings are all of the writings about the laws, statutes, and commandments. Yes. It's all of the different testimonies and things from the nation of Israel of what happened, because we write things down and we testify. And we show off of our stories, off of our testimonies, maybe you'll learn something. You'll learn how the Most High is His graces, and you'll learn how if you don't follow them laws, what happened too. Okay. And this is what the Bible is. It's only made up of those 3 parts. Okay. I'm talking about the Old Testament.
Gotcha.
And when I say the Old Testament, people have a misconception to think that there's 2 testaments, and I know that it says New Testament. I get that, but there's only one testament. Okay. There's only one set of laws, statutes, and commandments. Because correct me if I'm wrong, the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments are everlasting. They don't change. That's what everlasting mean. They don't never ever 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 change. They last forever.
Okay.
Meaning,
so do you believe that?
That's not what we're taught.
Okay.
As far as Christians.
Yeah, as far as Christians.
Absolutely. Okay. And this is where you get your difference in your Mosaic law and your law under Christ.
Okay. And what you said, what do you call it? Because I couldn't remember what you called it.
The difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament?
No, like you said, so the Israel United 12 tribes follow the laws and commandments.
The laws.
What is it called? What you follow? You said it. I don't remember.
Because Christ came, sacrificed himself
The
on
law
the
of
cross.
Christ.
It is called the dispensations of mercy and grace.
There we go.
Okay.
That's what I was. That was I was.
Good. And I'm happy you saying that. Good. Perfect. Did you get information on Serapis? Serapis?
Let me go back.
Because all of this is perfect. It is working right on out to where it's supposed to. You seeing the separation.
Yes.
And this is where I want the definition. I want the spotlight to be on the separation. Because when all of this happened in the very beginning, the Most High already had his plan in place. He already had his set of people to put the law, statutes, and commandments, to put the kingdom of heaven, bring it down on earth. He already had his chosen. That's why I read you what I read you when he said, that's my first son. That's why I read y'all that.
Gotcha.
The Most High don't make mistakes. And he's everlasting. This indoctrination came about. Did you find Serapis?
Yeah, it said,
Can you
what
read
does
who is he?
Serapis Christus mean?
Yeah, who is Serapis Christ?
Christ the Savior. Transformation from Serapis Christus, which means Christ the Savior, to Jesus Christ by edit of Emperor Constantine in 325 AD.
Okay. So this is where Jesus Christ come from. And can you tell me the time frame on Serapis Christ? When did Serapis Christ exist? Was it before Jesus or after?
And we can just, we gonna take that. Go ahead and answer it, and then make a research later.
Well, okay, cool.
So we can keep it. You know.
Yeah. Well, can you look it up while I'm answering? Can you look it up as verification? Because I really don't like nothing just coming out my mouth, because I don't like people saying, "Well, that's just what YKBN said."
Well, we ain't on.
You
that.
know, I know y'all not, but the look.
Just teach it though.
No
like,
doubt.
just
Okay,
speak your
cool.
shit,
So y'all, please research this information.
There you go.
Please, because it needs to be researched, and this is not something that the Christian institutions are teaching y'all in church. And I think that that's very important. They mentioned Jesus, didn't it? It said that's where Jesus come from. That's where his name got changed from. I think that's something that's worth looking into.
True.
Okay? Do you got the time frame on Serapis Christ? It's not hard to find. It's real easy.
Yeah, okay. I think it's loading up now.
Because like I said, this information need to get out there. And Christ in itself, it just means the anointed one, the chosen one. That's what Christ means in itself. And if Jesus didn't exist, the letter J didn't come out until later on down the alphabet, so his name couldn't have been Jesus. And by the way, Yeshua, this guy that Jesus is supposed to be, now everybody thinks that Jesus come from Yeshua. And I just proved to y'all that Jesus did not come from Yeshua. Jesus came from Serapis.
Is that what we think? Do you think Jesus
Christians?
That's not what we're taught, but that's what this is saying.
Well, where does Jesus come from? Who is Jesus? Was the letter J? I mean, we this is just common sense. Did the letter J exist during the time where the Messiah walked the earth?
I'm not
When did the letter J come out? You can look on Google and see when the letter J came out.
Though. That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying no, the letter J did not exist. That's why I'm asking you to look on Google. So
no, we want you to tell us though.
Check it out. What I'm going to tell you is the letter J did not exist during the times that Yeshua walked the earth.
Okay, we got that. So
so his name, the Messiah name, could not have possibly been Jesus because the letter J did not exist.
Gotcha.
Okay? His name was Yahushua, and if you want to translate that, it'll be like Joseph. All right?
Okay.
So it's not Jesus.
All right.
The Messiah comes from the tribe of who? What tribe does he come from? The tribe of Judah. It's the tribe that the Messiah comes from. The tribe, this guy that they say Jesus, they try and say he comes from the tribe of Judah. They labeling him with Yeshua, with and Joshua, that you can't do that.
Okay, so is that, have you ever, what do you say about where did Jesus, do you connect Jesus with a tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel or Judah?
I don't.
How do you see Jesus?
Jesus came from the Father, the Immaculate Conception, with Mary and Joseph. Who was
they though? Who was their history? Who was they? Was Joseph in the family?
Joseph
was married to Joseph.
Yep.
Okay, so what nation was they? Was they of a nation? Did the Most High talk about them? Did the Most High talk about all this?
Yeah, he talked about it, but the thing is, we're not taught what nation they came from. We're taught reference of Christ.
Which means what? The chosen one, right? What does Christ mean? The chosen one?
If you were to look it up, yeah.
Right, the anointed one.
Yep.
Right. Anointed by who?
The Father.
Does it say that?
But we believe in the Trinity.
Right, where did the Trinity come from? Look up the Nicene Creed, please. The Nicene Creed is where the Holy Trinity comes from, and that comes from man. That don't come from the Most High. That comes from Constantine. Can you please look up the Nicene Creed? Because that's the outcome of the Council of Nicaea.
Okay.
See, this is the Most High say, "My people shall perish from a lack of knowledge." Are you familiar with that in Hosea?
Yep.
Okay, what people are you talking about? Are you talking about the world, or is he talking about the nation of Israel?
If he is talking about the nation of Israel, from where we're taught, you can't forget about the Gentiles also.
You absolutely can't, but the Gentiles also have to learn, why are they called Gentiles? Because they're strangers to the Most High laws, to the nation of Israel. That's why they're called Gentiles. But in what the nation of Israel believes in our government, which you learn is in the first 5 books, if that Gentile learns, if he adapts to the nation of Israel laws, these laws, statutes, and commandments, which these laws are the same laws that Christians are supposed to abide by. The laws, statutes, and commandments. The 10 commandments. Then they are grafted in, and they are part of the nation of Israel. So this is what this whole thing is about, the nation of Israel, about bringing the kingdom of heaven down on earth. And don't Christians believe that too?
Yeah, but not in the same light.
Right, because they say they go through a man, and the Most High say don't go through no other God before me. Ain't that one of the 10 commandments?
That's one of the 10
commandments. Okay, so why are you going through another God to get to him?
But what we're taught is that's why Christ had to come in the form of man and sacrifice himself, because no one could keep the laws. That's how we get under the grace and mercy dispensations, because the laws are no more. It says in the word, no one was justified to keep them. So that's our Christian belief, is that it's only one way there, and that's through Christ Jesus, who's our Lord and Savior. I can't speak for the nation because of what they believe. I can only speak from what I believe, which is the one God who sent his son to die and take on the sins of man. Because think about it, when he was on that cross, why did the sky turn black? The sky turned black because God can't look at sin. And Jesus died on that cross taking on the sins of man. So he could no longer look at him because he had became sin.
I'm not arguing that those events happen. That's not what this argument is about. I'm not arguing that the Messiah didn't exist. That's not what I'm saying. That's a misconception. I'm saying that his name was not Jesus. I'm saying that his name was Yeshua. He did go through all these miracles. He did go through all these sacrifices. But we are taught, we are misconceived to think something different. We have that long, and you see how much you believe The Most High put that in you for a reason. And he put us together for a reason. We ain't dumb. And all we need to do is think that this shit has been fucked with before our time, though. And we have gone through slavery that manipulated things. Our people believed in the Most High way before slavery hit us here. As a matter of fact, that's what the Europeans was afraid of. Because when we got together, we were so spiritual, it scared them. They was afraid of this, so they put this Baptist doctrine in us. Because most of us are Baptists. And this is where this come from. Did you look up the Nicene Creed while I was talking? Can you read that? What is the Nicene Creed?
For what they gave me. Hold on. Let's see. Let's say we believe in one God, the Father, the Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, and of all that is seen and unseen. We believe in one Lord, Jesus Christ, the only Son of God, eternally begotten of the Father, God from God, light from light, true God from true God, begotten not made, one in being with the Father.
You ain't got to read no more. Ain't that what you believe? Do you see where you get your beliefs from?
I see what, yeah.
That's the Nicene Creed. Look up the history of the Nicene Creed. You getting it from a man, and that's not the Most High, brother.
So speak on, talk about it too. What is the Nicene Creed?
The Nicene Creed comes together because the first European ruler of emperor, his name was Ptolemy the First. And he got that title because he was the first European emperor of Egypt. He overthrew the pharaoh and he wanted to be worshipped as a god. So he started building up statues all around Egypt, where the Egyptians at the time didn't agree with that. So they went to war with Ptolemy. Well, the thing he wanted, the indoctrination, the belief he wanted to give these Egyptians was of Serapis Christ. That indoctrination. And they was like, no, that's coming from the Pope, from Rome. Because that's who sent Constantine. All right? A long time passed. It was this guy named Arius who stood up against Ptolemy, because Ptolemy had a big movement, and Arius had a big movement. And they was like, no. Arius say, no, we don't worship statues. No, our Most High is a living Most High. All right? This is the difference. And he was getting the nation of Israel beliefs out, basically, where they banned Arius. That was the outcome, is they banned Arius and they made this Nicene Creed. The Pope said, okay, now this shit is getting too big over here in this land that we just conquered, which is Egypt. The outroar is getting too big. We need to send somebody there to settle this thing. He sent Constantine. Constantine got all the nobles and all the scholars together, which formed the Council of Nicaea. They took books out, put books in. All right? They said, okay, well, guess what? Serapis win. We're going to go with this theology. This is what we're going to go with. And the Nicene Creed stamped it. This is the stamp that they put on it. This is what made, okay, everybody going to go by this. And this is why you believe this.
And this was way before.
This is way before, yes. Way before. Serapis Christ is before Jesus Christ. Yes. But this event was probably after Jesus.
Okay.
It was a long thing.
I got it. So Jesus and Yahshua, two different people.
Two different things. Yes.
Who is Jesus?
Jesus is just what I said, Serapis.
Oh, okay. Now that's okay. Okay, so
I just showed you the separation. We just went down. Now, I didn't show you. I'll let you read it for yourself. The separation there. That's not me saying this. That's what history tells you. And the reason we don't know this is because the churches are not teaching this. You got to go to school to learn this. And churches ain't the school to go to learn this. They're going to teach you what that's telling them to teach you, and not seeing creed. That's why you know what you know, and you so wholeheartedly knowing this. But that's not what the Most High intended. The Most High intended for his nation to bring that down. The only way to get back into the nation is to follow his laws, statutes, and commandments, which we agreed on earlier. They don't change. They everlasting.
Okay.
It's simple.
So if Jesus' name is in the Bible, it was because of this Nicene Creed?
Yes.
That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's powerful. The Pope said, do it, it's done. Yes.
What you think?
That's not what I believe.
Okay. Look,
What I believe is the Trinity. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit is one person.
Didn't you just read that, though?
One person, yes.
And then you just read that. I know that's
Yeah.
what you believe. I'm not saying that's you believe that because that's what you was taught coming up. But this is before you. This is before who taught you. What
So-
you reading? This is history.
So if we go back to Genesis, the creation of it,
Yes. Let's go back.
what was there before that?
Before what?
The creation of this. Because it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Before there was light,
Hold on.
before there was darkness.
I got it right here. In the beginning, the Most High created the heavens and the earth came to be formless and empty, and darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of the Most High moved along the faces of the water. That's how it begins.
That's how it begins. But what was before that?
That's what he had. What was
Syrupus
before this?
Christ wasn't before that.
Well, hold on. You said you referenced Genesis, and this is the beginning of this is Genesis chapter 1 verse 1. This is in the beginning. So I'm going back to in the beginning, and I'm telling you what was in the beginning. In the beginning, it was the Most High. He created the heavens and the earth.
So there was no Syrupus Christ.
It was the Most High. Yeah, absolutely correct. And that's my point exactly. Why do we need to go through Syrupus Christ to get to the Most High? The Most High, in the beginning, it was a direct connection. Was it Jesus during Adam and Eve days? Was it Jesus during Noah days? Didn't they have a direct line to the Most High?
Yeah.
Why don't we?
But that's not what I'm getting out of that. What I'm getting out of that is the one true living God that created everything.
Yes, we'd agree. We'd agree.
So where are the books before that? Because he just read it. So where's everything before that? What's nothing before that?
Before Genesis.
Before that Genesis 1.
Before verse. Genesis chapter. So so you saying there's something that's in the Bible that's different in the other Bible?
No. I'm just saying.
Before this, it was darkness. Yeah, in the beginning, the Most High created the heavens and the earth came to be formless and empty, and darkness was on the face of the deep. It's telling you what it was.
Which means, as he read, so it was nothing before that but God himself, right? We agree on that?
Darkness.
Darkness.
Yes.
So if they went in there and changed everything, why didn't they change that?
Why didn't they change the beginning?
Because if we saying we've been indoctrinated, why didn't they change the truth about the beginning? Because in order to get through the rest of the books, you start right there. Right, Genesis 1, verse 1. Why didn't they change that?
A lot of people think that the Most High come from the Bible. He don't. The Most High comes from within. This is his temple. The Bible is like verification. Is where you can go and look. So the Most High say he gonna always leave his remnants down here. And that remnants is within you. You know right from wrong. But it's certain forces out here that don't want you to prevail, that is against the Most High.
I can agree with that.
So this is this is the forces that we working against. I'm not saying that you got to be melanated. This word is for everybody. This law, statutes, and commandments is for everybody. But a lot of us is deceived. The devil works, and he working way more than what we think he is. And he's deceiving around every corner. Why is it so hard to see that it's a deception there? if its laws, statutes, and commandments are for everlasting, and this shit don't change, why is it changing? It's simple. Why is there a change? And why is it coming from man? I don't understand why is it so hard. What is the block that's there?
But man had to be inspired to write that, right?
Absolutely, yes.
So
yes,
change is coming from man. It's a divine intervention, but change is still coming from man if they had to write that, right?
I'm going to agree to disagree on that because, man, it's different translations of the Bible, yes, and it has been fucked with a whole lot. But them tablets, that was the divine intervention. The tablets, when that lightning hit that mountain, boom! And them tablets was created, that's the divine intervention. When the Most High started talking to Moses, that's a divine intervention. You see what I'm saying? These are the divine interventions. That divine intervention ain't come at no wartime when Constantine was sent to build or something. And no, that's a control mechanism.
Let me speak on that a little bit. So, because I think I know, but this is where I kind of I listen to it, then I decipher for myself and pray to the Most High when it all comes down.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking what I'm hearing Daddy Rich ask is, if you won't, we believe this part of the book, but don't believe this part of the book. How do we decipher what to believe if you telling me that Jesus is not real? Well, not real. The name been switched.
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
So okay, you saying how do you know what to believe because you have what's called the power of discernment, and this is what I want everybody to use. Yes, this is what the Most High put in you: willpower and the power of discernment, and this is what you need to use. If His laws and statutes and commandments are for everlasting, why do you want to change them? If the Most High say you don't gotta go through nobody else to get to me, as a matter of fact, I'm telling you, don't do that. Why you gonna do that?
So what was the story of? Tell us the story of Yahshua then. If is it the same story of Jesus, or is it not?
As far as what the Christians teaching, it's a deception there.
No,
so they misleading. I'm answering your question. Okay. So they misleading you to think that this Jesus, Jesus, is the same thing as Yeshua. Right. But the purpose of me breaking this down to Brother Daddy Rich is to show everybody that there is a separation. That's not where Jesus come from. That's what they told you. This is a part of the deception. See, a lot of, let me put this right here on me right quick.
Before you do that, I still want to know that question. Is Yahshua the same? Is the story, is the only thing different is the name? So is the story true and it's just Yahshua and not Jesus?
The deception, if you're going to believe if you're going to, listen, I'm answering, if you're going to believe the lie, then yes, it's absolutely the same.
No, I'm asking you.
I'm telling you, the deception is that these are two different things. Yeshua would never believe in the shit that Jesus believed in.
Okay.
Yeshua believed in the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High.
So did he get
Jesus don't do that.
Did he get sacrificed on the cross? Did Yeshua get sacrificed on the cross?
Yeshua got sacrificed, absolutely.
Okay.
Check it out. Two prime differences in Jesus and Yeshua. The Most High told you to rest on Yesabit, which is the 7th day of the week. That's where Yeshua went by. In this new law that Jesus go by, it ain't like that. Jesus worships on the 1st day of the week, which is Sunday, which is the sun god. Okay, I don't want to get on that.
No, we listening, though.
Okay, well then why is it a coincidence that you're going to church on Sunday on the sun god day, on Horus's day, and not on the Most High's day that you commanded to go to worship, to do all this on? Why is you doing this on another day? Why are you changing this day?
So if we agree the word, the Bible, comes from God Himself.
Yes.
Can He not change it?
No, because he said this there for me and it won't change.
That's in your beliefs.
That ain't in
That's
your Bible?
not in our beliefs.
That's in the Bible. See,
Yes,
hold
in
on,
the
this
Bible,
is my
but
whole thing about the
that's not
belief
in our
thing.
beliefs.
I'm with you, but this is my thing about the belief thing. How are you going to believe two different things in the same book, though? We talking about the exact same book. We're going off the same book, off the Most High's laws, statutes, and off the Bible. We're going off the Bible. I'm not going off no other book than what Christians go off of. So why is there a change there?
I'm trying to. I don't. So is Yahshua in the Bible?
Well, hold on. Jesus. No, it ain't no book of Jesus. He's referenced
No,
in.
I'm
in
talking
he's,
about Yahshua.
No, I'm telling you, no. The Bible is about the nation of Israel. Let's not get that confused either, because it didn't go to nobody else.
Right.
It's about the nation of Israel and what happens when the nation of Israel stop following the Most High's commandments and what happened when they do. Even in the so-called New Testament, it ain't about the whole world. It's only when the whole world becomes the nation of Israel when it's talking about you, when you start following these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what, and Christians don't think that.
I'm trying
because we no longer under the law.
But the Bible came out from us.
But we no longer under the laws. That's how.
So how you go? What book do you believe in then?
I believe in the Bible,
which comes from where?
God Himself.
Okay.
Is that what you? Where the Bible come from?
The Bible comes from, if you believe in the tablets, if you believe in Moses, if you believe in that mountain getting struck, then that's where the Bible comes from, and everything that's in it been written by the nation of Israel.
Okay, so what is that you holding right now?
This is scripture. Same thing.
So it is the Bible?
Yes.
So is Yahshua in that Bible? That's what I'm asking. In that Bible that you reading from. Not Jesus, Yahshua.
Yes.
And is it the story of Jesus, or is it the story?
It's the story. Yes.
Okay,
yes,
that's what I was trying to.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's all in the Bible, and this is where they're getting it from. This is where the misconception. It's a deception there, and this is what people don't want to look at, and they don't want to dig into this deception.
Okay.
But that's what happens when the world gets a hold of something. It gets manipulated.
Absolutely.
But in the essence, if we've been through slavery and indoctrinated into Christianity, why are other religions using the doctrine that they supposedly don't have the same beliefs for? Why would you use the same doctrine?
What you mean? What you mean?
Like, other religions use the Bible that don't necessarily
what
agree
other religions?
Any religions out here.
They use the Bible.
So
not
is
Christian?
the nation of Israel just the nation of Israel, or are they Christians too? Because we're using the same doctrine,
the
right?
nation of Israel are not Christians.
Right.
See, that's what I'm trying to get you
But
to
that's
see.
what
that
I'm trying to say.
Christians is something different that we don't. Our people have a misunderstanding what Christianity is.
I think he's saying, but y'all use the same.
The same doctrine. If you don't,
because
agree
it
with
comes
Christianity,
from us. That's why. This is our doctrine. This is our history.
The tablets is what y'all believe, right?
The Bible is made up of 3 sections: the laws, the prophets, and the writings, all of which come from the nation of Israel, not Christians.
But why are we using the same doctrine?
Because of the deception of that Nicene Creed. I just pointed it out to you. You're not believing what you just read. That's the problem.
So, me being a Christian, that's a follower of Christ.
Right. Of what you just, that's a follower of what you just read.
But I'm saying we're following Jesus, right?
Of what you just read. Not this
that's
Bible.
That's what our beliefs is. We're following Jesus.
Not this Bible, though. See, Jesus was not known of when this Bible was made. Is what I'm saying.
That's why the laws, that's why we no longer follow the laws. if we still followed the laws, there wouldn't have been a reason for Christ to come and climb up on that cross. That's why we're in dispensation now. We're
The
under
Messiah
the dispensation of mercy and grace.
so the Messiah was a live offering. The Messiah ended all of our live offerings where we had to. The nation of Israel had to have a lot of offerings
in the temple.
Yes, over different guilts and things like that, over different sins and things like that. We had harvest offerings. We had different types of offerings. One of the main offerings that we had was live offerings, where we had to offer live animals and shit.
At the altar.
And the Messiah was the ultimate live offering. So we don't have to do that. We don't have to do that no more.
So those were live offerings at the altar in the temple, right?
Yeah. Not just in the temple, but we had to do it, period. Yeah.
What happened when Jesus came in that temple?
What you mean?
He flipped them tables over.
You are talking about Pharisees. You're talking about when Rome had it. That ain't have shit to do with the nation of Israel, though. That's what you got to realize.
But that's worldly.
No. But you're not talking about the nation of Israel.
But I'm saying
you're talking about another religion. That's what. Listen, if Yeshua walked the earth, he will go into every Christian church and do the same thing that you're talking about.
If they not doing it right.
No. Period. Y'all not. I ain't gonna say y'all. Christians are not doing it right. That's what the problem was when Yeshua flipped them things. You are saying it yourself.
Israel believes.
Let me ask a question.
He was Yisrael.
So
that's your belief.
He was. The scripture don't tell you he was of Yisrael.
Let me get up in there, cause
it tells me that he was.
So hold on.
They were the chosen people.
So scripture don't tell you that Yeshua was of Yisrael.
They tell me that Yisrael was the chosen people.
I'm talking about Jesus. I'm talking about Jesus.
If he's Yisrael, that's of the chosen bloodline. But why did they have to start including the Gentiles? Because when he walked the earth.
Hold on, no. They didn't. You are talking. You can't do that. You can't mix the Nicene Creed up with the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments like that's law. That's not fair. That's what Christians do, and that's not fair.
That's what you telling me. You've been sitting there telling me y'all belief system was the tablets of Moses.
Our belief system is the laws, statute, and commandments.
That was adjoined with Moses, right?
That's adjoined with Moses, with the nation of Israel.
But what I'm trying to say is, the word says no man was able to keep the laws. That's why Christ had to come, climb up on the cross, take on the sins of man, and that's how we get to grace and mercy under the dispensations.
And I want to ask you a question on that, because that's where my confusion is coming in.
Okay, cool.
And you answered. You said y'all both are saying the same thing. And now let me just make sure we're talking about Yeshua right now. Yeshua.
We're not talking about the same person.
Well, I'm talking about Yeshua.
Okay.
So you said Yeshua was the last live offering.
Yes.
Okay, so you're saying we don't have to do live offerings no more.
Yes.
Now that's a change. Can we agree on that? At first we was doing live offerings, he got on that cross, so we won't do live offerings no more. So that is a change.
Absolutely.
That's a change in the before, now we don't have to do that.
That's not a change in the laws.
But no, I ain't saying that.
Okay, cool.
I'm not saying that. So is Yahshua and Jesus the same to you? Or is that, so that ain't the same?
Not to me.
So the story of Jesus and Yahshua, I'm asking you, are they the same? Verbatim. Are they the same? What was changed if it wasn't the same? So in the Bible, when they talk about Jesus, because from what I'm getting is they switched the name to Jesus to have us worshiping some shit that we shouldn't worship. But is the actual story true if you switch Jesus with Yahshua? Name. Not characteristics.
I would have to agree, yes. I would have to say yes.
Okay. Because this was going to help me. Is it true what he said about how he was sacrificed? Is it true what he said?
What?
How he was sacrificed.
On the cross?
Yeah.
Some people believe that, and some people believe it was on the tree. If you look deep into scripture, it's on the tree. It was not on the cross.
So that's different. That's different.
But that's something that the Bible says about the cross. But if you look deeper into history on who Yeshua was, because like I said, this thing has been manipulated, and you have to dig into history because we don't want to worship a lie. We need to know the truth.
That's why I'm asking. In the book of that book right
yes.
there,
it talks about a cross. Yes.
But is that true?
No.
Okay. So basically that part of the Bible you don't believe in.
Nah.
But it's in that Bible though.
Yeah, it's in the Bible. Yes.
All right, we can move on.
Absolutely.
We can move on. Okay. Because that's what's gonna help me figure out these situations, because this is why I didn't fuck with the Bible. I'm just gonna be real with you. Because I can't read something and some of it's true and some of it's not. That's crazy for it all. So what I'm saying, what I see with you, what you help me with is I do research outside of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not necessarily, to me, for the laws, it's natural. This is just a natural thing.
And next word should be, which all of us can agree.
Yeah, but at the same time, I believe in what he's saying too. Because the way you explain it, now if you telling me that I can believe that they switched the name, but it was the person, it happened. That's you saying that.
Yeshua did exist.
Yeah. So you saying that happened. So you telling me the only reason that happened was for us not to have live offerings?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because you can't just say this abolished, you are automatically forgiven for your sins.
So that's kind of saying what he's saying.
That is saying, well, yes.
Okay. All right.
You can't say that like the Most High law, statutes, and commandments don't exist. That's what you're eliminating. You're replacing the law, statutes, and commandments with the blood of Christ. That's what you're doing.
That's what happened.
All right.
That's what...
I didn't say that they didn't exist. I said we're not under that anymore. Because no man could keep the law.
And I'm telling you where that came from.
That's real.
No matter how hard he tried, no man could keep the laws. That's why Christ had to be sacrificed. The lamb, the blood had to be shed because nobody could keep the laws. That's why Jesus justifies. He took on the sins of man.
The nation of Israel justifies. The law, statutes, and commandments justifies.
That's what
the Most High don't. The Most High don't turn his back on himself. The Most High said in the Bible that he was gonna wake his people up.
You said he can't turn his back on himself. He turned his back on Jesus when he took on the sin of man, because he can't see sin.
So is that
ain't no sin in heaven?
So you agree that Jesus and the Most High is two different entities?
No, they all one.
So
that's
how he turned his back on Jesus? He turned his back on himself?
He can't see sin.
He turned his back on himself? He's sinful?
That's what we trying to
I'm listening and I'm trying to put it together.
Yeah, talk to
I'm
me.
Confused. No, I'm confused. I'm asking. This is my question.
Okay, go ahead.
My thing
I'm confused.
We all sitting here breathing.
Well, I need my question answered though.
Breathing.
I'm saying,
go ahead.
Jesus and the Most High, you say they one thing, but then you say the Most High turned his back on Jesus
because he couldn't see sin.
So he turned his back on himself.
No, he was down here in the form of man.
So he turned his back on himself.
No,
and he died. And he died. He sacrificed himself. So you telling me the story of Jesus, you telling me Jesus wasn't on that cross talking to his Father?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, but they're the same.
Yeah, they're the same.
But he was talking to himself.
No, he turned his back on sin.
Oh, come on,
Once
man.
he
Hold
came
on. I'm
in the
confused.
image of man.
You can't tell me I'm not confused.
When Jesus walked the earth in the image of man, he took on the sins of man. And God can't see sin.
Okay.
So that separated the two?
Yes.
Okay,
Sin-
so at that point, they're not the same?
YKBN, don't sin separate you from God?
Yes, but I'm asking you.
So his
but
son Jesus
I'm asking you, are we agreeing at that point there was two separate entities?
They were still the same.
I'm
Until
confused.
sin came on them.
Right, but
He's
when
in the
sin
form of
came
man.
on them,
Sin separates you from Christ.
and at that point, they were separate entities.
If that's the way you want to
I'm
view
asking you.
If that's the way you want to view it.
I'm just trying to.
I'm just telling
I'm
you
confused,
the
bro.
way
I'm
the
just
story
trying
go
to.
as
The
the
Most
way
High
we
don't deal
believe
with confusions. Do we agree?
Agree about what?
The Most High don't do confusion.
No, he don't do.
Oh, so I'm confused, and I'm asking you to clear that up for me, bro.
I just told you.
So how?
And
Okay.
God-
So all right, I'm gonna ask y'all. Do y'all understand that he's separate but the same?
Man, look.
I'm just trying to get. I'm trying to get him up. Am I going
My
crazy? here?
analogy is we sitting
'Cause
here
I'm
breathing
seeing-
air, but we can't see it. But you
Right,
still
I'm
believe you
seeing-
breathing
I'm
air.
like, tweet.
No, I
Right?
know this is one of these things I learned in
Yeah.
college that air ain't a real thing. It's just molecules that you breathing to
That's
get.
just
Let
what they
T.I.
call
go.
it.
Oh, well, I'm
You
just
ask him a
saying.
question, let him go ahead and speak on it.
No, I'm just saying, I see both points though, man. That's why I'm sitting back absorbing it, and I see exactly what Rich is saying, and I see exactly what you saying. I think the only thing I am seeing though, the biggest thing that I'm seeing is the fact that Jesus and Yahshua was two different people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It was two different people. You know what I'm saying? They just changed, or it was the same person, but they changed the name. You know what I mean? And tried to.
So
make it
Serapis is to be ignored. He didn't exist.
No, he's saying what you. No, all of that.
Well, no, Serapis and Yeshua ain't the same.
No, we talking about. No,
I'm talking about
Jesus.
I'm talking about Jesus. Serapis is Jesus.
Right.
When we talking about Jesus, let's not put him with Yeshua because they not the same. That's why I'm not agreeing with that.
I know you're not agreeing with that, but you not at the same time you not you want to understand, but you need. This is why you ain't understanding. You even explaining it. Why
What?
we not ain't? Why?
What? Tell
why?
me this. What?
You saying you believe or you did research and you believe Serapis Christ is Jesus. He don't believe Serapis Christ is Jesus.
So that's what you saying. That ain't Jesus. Serapis Christ ain't Jesus. So that's lying.
No, I ain't never prayed to Serapis.
I'm
Christ.
saying, but because what I'm saying, so that's lying. So that's lying.
What, the internet?
No, I'm saying what you just read. That information you just read.
That's what the internet said. What I just read. But that's not what I believe. Because wasn't no internet in Genesis 1:1.
And Jesus wasn't there either.
That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying.
This where I
Jesus
think you
was
missing
with the
the
Father.
thing. And you the thing.
How was Jesus with the Father?
You explained
the
it,
Trinity.
man.
How?
You explained it.
Tell me how.
One.
You just did it.
I don't get it.
That's the thing. Us on earth try to separate the Trinity when you can't. They won.
Oh my
The
goodness.
Father,
So what
Son,
y'all
and the
telling
Holy
me
Spirit.
is y'all just want me to think that the Nicene Creed didn't
No,
exist,
no,
and
I
that's
ain't
not
say
where
that.
y'all getting this
No,
information
no,
from.
I ain't say that.
Disregard what the
I
Most
didn't-
High put right there to
I
tell
didn't
me.
say that.
Oh
I
my
said that's
goodness.
not what I
didn't
believe.
nobody say
'Cause
that.
I've never
You
prayed
wanna
prayed to
understand.
Serapis Christ. I've never prayed to Serapis Christ. I prayed to Jesus.
I never heard of him till you brought him up.
Right, so that means he didn't exist. That means that that's not who it is, and y'all brothers are not being y'all can't get enlightened
That's
because y'all
not for
stuck
me.
on the tradition of what
No,
y'all been on.
This is what I'm doing. This is an explanation, and you are putting out information that we need to motherfucking research, and Daddy Rich is explaining his point of view of it. It
No
ain't
doubt.
it's no all we want you now, because it's good information that you're telling us. So we want people to go research it and do that. But you have to explain, you have to understand that everybody don't know what you know.
And that's
So
why
you
I'm
can't
asking
get-
everybody to do the research,
No,
but at the
right.
same
Come
time,
on, let me finish talking, brother.
no doubt.
Let me finish talking. So at the same time, you have to have patience, not anger, when people don't understand what you're saying.
Y'all taking this as anger? Y'all think I'm mad?
It's kind of sound like it.
No, bro. I ain't mad, bro. Let's get that clear to earth with that. I'm not coming at this with anger. This is passion. This is complete 100% passion, bro. Okay. And this is how I get when I get in my mode of preaching.
Well, let me say
I'm not angry at y'all for this.
But let me say this. And we had this conversation before, and I know you get like this when we get to the Most High. We all are like this when we get to the Most High. But everybody have not done the extensive research that you have done. So when we're talking, it ain't, well, with me anyway, I'm more picking your brain to be like, okay, if Jesus and Yahshua are not the same, how do you know that? And if you reading the Bible and everything, you want us to go by this Bible, but in this Bible it says Jesus and what he's saying, but you don't want us to, the conceit, that's in the internet.
No,
why am I believing the internet?
Hold on, and I'm explaining this to y'all. Hold on, let me get a fair chance to explain that then. I agree.
That's all.
I agree with what you're saying, because maybe I'm projecting more anger than knowledge. So let me try and calm the fuck down.
My God.
And explain this to y'all.
Thank you.
What's being misunderstood is a deception, man. I keep saying that there is a deception. That means that the book was changed on purpose. The same book that I'm reading and that you're reading was changed on purpose with this Nicene Creed. When this was stamped, that changed all the Bibles. All the Bibles. That's why when you're looking at the Bible and you're saying, damn, it's supposed to be different. It's done that way. It's structured that way to confuse you and furthermore hide your identity. You have to remember that this book was your history. It still is. If you know who your father is. It's only going to be 144,000. Do you agree with that? Okay. And that's talking about the people who know who their father is. Do you agree that it's going to be a deception of Antichrist?
Yeah, that's true. But okay, here's the thing, though.
Well, let me finish. Let me finish, please. When I'm talking about this Serapis Christ, and when I'm talking about this Council of Nicaea, when I'm talking about this Nicene Creed, this is to let y'all know that y'all need to look into that instead of just stamping what y'all believe in so hard. Don't just kick out what Brother YKBN saying, because Brother YKBN is doing this shit out of love. I'm trying to inform my people, and yes, I'm very passionate about it because my people has been through a whole lot of shit throughout history, and I'm sorry that y'all don't have this same passion that I got, but I've been through a time where I done seen prejudice and shit. I understand the different shit, the different movements. I ain't forgot about the Black Panthers, the Marcus Garveys and all these motherfuckers that died and did all this shit. I'm one of them type of motherfuckers. I'm sorry.
No, you don't gotta apologize.
I am apologizing because I'm scaring motherfuckers away with my passion. So I'm apologize for that. You get what I'm saying? So the thing is, I just want y'all to look further into this shit. That's all. We got a lot of my brother like Daddy Richard in these Christian churches. It's not, I was explaining this to a brother earlier, it ain't just y'all that I'm fucked up with. It's the institutions that I'm fucked up with because they know what's going on. The institutions know what they indoctrinating into the people. It's the people that don't understand, and they feeding off that long and that hunger y'all want for our Father. You don't need to go through no motherfucker to get to the Father. You just need to follow the law, statutes, and commandments the Father gave us to follow. The reason that all this shit is fucked up is like you said, the nation of Israel fucked up. We stopped following the law, statutes, and commandments, and we got into all this bullshit, but don't think we don't exist. Don't think we ain't still here. Don't think we still don't have a job to do. And don't think that we ain't still fucked up in all this bullshit. That's why we going to church on the day that the Most High say, fuck no. You don't do that on this day. You do it on this day. And we said, that's why we got gay marriages in the same institutions that's teaching this shit. Because we falling stray from the laws. So to the point where we say, damn it, they don't even fucking exist. Oh, do the Most High even exist now?
Yeah, the Most High.
Oh yeah.
You know? And this is why I'm passionate.
Oh yeah, I understand.
Right on. You know, this is why I'm passionate.
But
and this is why this information needs to come out here, bro.
And speaking on research, this I have an issue with research because the books we researching didn't come out of that one. That's the only one that actually exists and that is credible. That is truth, living water. So why would I get on the internet and research? For what? All I gotta do is dive in that. From my beliefs. I can't speak for everybody else.
It's about,
you know what I'm saying?
about history. The same reason that you will go to college and you'll dig into them books to learn your history, to get knowledge. You're doing the same thing. It's the only thing you're doing. You further educating yourself. And there ain't never nothing wrong with that. That ain't got nothing to do. You use this as a reference point. You don't disregard this. You use this as a ground point. And you ask me a question, how could you know what's true and what's not true when you're reading this book? Because you have that power of discernment and you know what these laws, statutes, and commandments are. Anything that goes against the law, statutes, and commandments, you know what? Throw that shit out because you know who that's of. You have your power of discernment, and that's what I want you to use. You way too smart and you educated, bro. Do your research. Don't just look at it for a grain of salt. Get into the library and go into the fictional and the history section and look it up.
I dig you,
look it up.
Who put them books there?
I understand that, bro.
Those books ain't
who,
of Christ.
Who put the books there that taught you what you know? You think that's
one.
it? Right.
That came from God, right? In the beginning.
And it's further though. It's there. But you going by what you being indoctrinated. You not looking at, how can we look at this same, how if I'm going by this too?
It's two different perceptions.
It's
the same book and it's the same father. Are we talking about the father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? We talking about that same God?
That's in there.
Okay, then where's the confusion then?
The confusion is whether we still under the laws or the dispensations. That's where the confusion is. We're no longer
is the
under
dispensation
the
concerning the law, statutes, and commandments?
Grace and mercy.
Do you still have to follow the law, statutes, and commandments?
We're not under that no more.
So you don't gotta follow.
We gotta follow the dispensations.
Wait a minute.
I have to offer you the same grace and mercy
as the
Father offered me.
So you can be whatever you want to be, gay and all, and be okay.
Didn't say that.
I don't understand. Explain it to me.
That my Father forgives us. If you read in that book, he used murderers and thieves, and they was next to him on the cross.
But didn't he only forgive them when they what? Accepted,
right? And accepted.
So you telling me? So it ain't about the law, statutes, and commandments.
Wait a minute, young man. So you telling me a person that's gay can't be forgiven?
Well, not if they still gay.
Of course.
What?
But I'm saying.
So what does it mean to be forgiven? Ain't that about following the law, statutes, and commandments?
But it's a conversion that happens.
But when you are converted, what's on the other side? Ain't that the law, statutes, and commandments?
We're not under that no more.
But I'm asking, what's on the other side of the conversion? What do you have to do? Do you have to follow a certain law, statute, and commandments?
You have to follow
When
Christ.
you get saved again, what is that including?
Following Christ.
Which is?
That's a transformation of your mind and your soul.
What is following Christ? How do you operate in that lifestyle? Do you still have to not kill, not steal? Do you still have to worship no other God before the Most High? Do you still have to follow them laws, statutes, and commandments?
So, I do go back to this before I answer that. That's where the confusion comes in. He's speaking from a point of view of following the laws, and I'm speaking from grace and mercy to dispensation. So that's always going to be different because we're no longer under the laws. When Christ died, dispensations came in of grace and mercy. That's why I offer you the same grace and mercy no matter who you are and what you have done that Christ offered.
So offering grace and mercy, so that means if you gay, all you got to do is say, oh, please, Most High. Well, no, not Most High. All you got to do is say, oh, Jesus, please forgive me and I accept you into my heart.
And go through the conversion. of living that for real. Not just saying.
I'm saying living what? So at that point, what are you living in the blood of Jesus? Jesus is your God. So there is no Most High. There is no
That is Most High.
I'm acting well.
How that same word say it's only one way to him, and that's through
wait
me?
a minute. Just like you said, you ain't heard of Serapis until that point. Have you ever heard of Yah? Is that in the Bible?
It's in there a few times.
Yah is in the Bible.
But that same Bible says, right?
No. I didn't say it. Yes, I'm talking Yah. The Most High's name, Yah.
I have to.
Does that same Bible says it's only one way through to the Father, and that's through Him? I am the truth. I am the light. I am the way.
This Bible
that's what that say, right?
This Bible. Well, if you talking about the Gospels, if you talking about, see, let me let everybody know
the Gospels
this.
Is
wait.
Let
me let everybody know something about the Gospels. The Gospels is not Testament. The Gospels is Gospels, testimonies of people throughout all these different times in history put together. And people accepting that like it's law, and it's not. The law is in the beginning. It's the Gospels in chronological order.
I'll answer that. But check this out. What is the best way that you could lead Sane, Tiago, and Tweezy to the Savior?
Through following the law, statutes, through the law, statutes, and commandments.
Your testimony ain't the biggest Bible that Sane
no
may
doubt,
read.
I'm gonna agree with you. Testimony is important, but testimony about the Most
the
High,
Gospels,
testimony about following these laws, statutes, and commandments, not testimony about some old bullshit.
But the
That's
Gospels
what testimony
are testimonies,
is,
right?
Well, hold on now. I'm answering that because the Gospels is Gospels about what? The laws, statutes, and commandments. That's all referencing to the scripture, the Old Testament, the laws, statutes, and commandments, what you gonna do and what's gonna happen to you if you don't follow these things. That's what all of this shit is about. So when you talk about the Gospels, that ain't good enough. That's not better than the original law, statutes, and commandments, because that's what it's all referencing.
If we were still up under the
that's
laws.
what it's all referencing. That's where the Gospels
no
come
one could
from.
keep the laws, right, YKBN?
The Gospels came in. When did the New Testament come in? After what? The Old Testament, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that came in way later on down the line, and that was, like I said, picked throughout history. That was something put together to follow. It's only one testament. It's only one law, statutes, and commandments. That's why I always say that.
Are they true? Are the Gospels true?
Depending. Okay. If they not according to the law, statutes, and commandments, I throw them out. Period.
So you adding to the change?
No, I ain't adding to nothing.
You say you threw them out?
No. I'm sticking to the scripture, to the law, statutes, and commandments. And I'm using my power of discernment because I know about the deception. I know that things has been added into this book, and I know things has been taken away from this book, but I know what they can't take away. They can't take away the Most High's law. They can't do it because why? It's an everlasting law. And that's the biggest red flag that throw me up about this Jesus thing, is because y'all taking something that's everlasting and making it lasting.
But can't
it's
God
a limited thing now.
God
so you call him the Most High lie, and that's the first thing that the devil do is smack him in the face.
Here's one thing. We can agree, there's an Old Testament, there's a New Testament.
No, I say there's one testament. There's only one testament.
But you just spoke of it being an Old Testament and a New Testament.
And I explained how it's only one.
So what happened in the middle?
There is no middle.
Why was there a need for a New Testament?
That's what I just explained. So
the middle
what I just what I just said that it's only one testament. And the only reason that they consider a New Testament is because of these Gospels that has been taken all throughout time. They are not in chronological order. So that's just something that was put together is what I said. It's only one testament.
But the Gospels is if you read the Gospels, Mark, Luke, John,
the Gospels is referencing the Old Testament.
But their encounters,
how could it be a but
basically
there?
The same three encounters if you read them, right?
What?
Mark, Luke, and John. They basically the same information in all three of
These
those
are gospels,
right?
and what about the people that wrote the gospels? Are these the same people that lived them? Since you want to talk about these testimonies, are these the same? Is Mark the person that wrote the gospel of Mark? Was that Mark?
Probably not.
No, it was
But here's
not.
the thing, though.
But how was you going?
Ain't it the same? Ain't all three of them pretty much the same information? Mark, Luke, John, the Gospels.
What I'm gonna tell you is the Pharisees that wrote them and the scribes that wrote them, they all was getting it from the same resource.
So the Pharisees and the scribes only wrote the New Testament. They ain't touched the Old Testament. So they gonna give you the truth in the beginning and deception in the end.
What they gonna give me is law, statutes, and commandments. I'm gonna give you an example of the Most High laws.
Okay.
The sun rise up one day in one way, with the east, and sets the other way, in the west?
Yeah, or vice versa.
Every time.
In the east, sets in the west.
It rises in the east and sets in the west. Every time. That's a law of the Most High. Okay. In order for you to live, you need your heart beating and your lungs and all this. That's the law of the Most High. The baby gonna have to come in through the mother's womb because she's a portal in this motherfucker. That's the laws of the Most High. Things like that can't be changed. Now you can have human come and try and manipulate things and put their own thing, their own spin on things, but the Most High tell us to watch out about that type of shit. Yeah. All right, they call them abominations. Okay. So the thing is, the Most High has His law, and His law don't change. You ain't have this problem with the law like the birds and shit. They wake up and they praise the Most High all the time because He gave them an instruction. The sun ain't got a problem with doing what the Most High tell it to do because He has instructions too. It's only us as humans, because we have a will and the power of discernment, they got a problem with doing what the Most High tell us to do. We don't think that His law is everlasting, so we want to put our own spin on shit, and that's not what we supposed to be doing.
But He gave us dominion over all that, right?
Not over Him.
The birds,
not over Him.
The fish in the sea. He gave us dominion over that.
Not right? Over Him. He made us in His image. That's why we have dominion over this.
Don't say we have dominion over God. That's not what's being taught.
That is.
That's from your beliefs is what's being taught.
Well,
my question is, why haven't Israel researched to get an understanding on the dispensations? That's where the problem is.
No, because we know that Yeshua was of the nation of Israel. And to be of the nation of Israel, you have to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. It's a circumcision thing. That's why we know how to spot bullshit when it's stirred, and we trying to give you that.
And that was then.
That's still
where we at now.
Dispensations,
mercy and grace. Now, if it was only the Old Testament in there and we were still under the laws, we wouldn't need the dispensations. We wouldn't need Christ to climb on that cross.
We don't have the dispensation. We don't have we don't.
That's where we at now. Grace and mercy. So you mean to tell
me the reason that the Pharisees went after him, the reason that Rome went after Yeshua is because he was teaching people about the law, statutes, and commandments. That's why. Let's not forget what he was teaching people.
So, let me get this right. When we woke up this morning, that wasn't grace and mercy. Because he could have swiped his hand and we could be out.
So you telling me that same grace and mercy wasn't when Noah walked the earth? As a matter of fact, let's speak about this. Let's speak about that grace and mercy. Let's speak about that grace. Wait. Let's speak about that grace and mercy. Didn't the Most High show us grace and mercy when he was like, damn, man, you're the only one following my law, statutes, and commandments. Let me wipe all this shit out and just leave you.
Yeah. That wasn't under dispensation. That was under the laws. But the reason Christ had to come, climb up on the cross and die, because no man... It says in there, he looked. No one could keep the laws. That's why he had to be the perfect sacrifice. Perfect. Ain't none of us in here perfect. We say it all the time. I ain't perfect. I know Daddy Rich ain't perfect. But that's why he had to come. Usher in the dispensations, grace and mercy.
which is a whole different person. And now you got to go praise another God before the Most High. So breaking the law, statutes, and commandments. I'm with you. I'm with you.
All right, so listen, we about to, cause I love it. Hey, I learned so much though. Real talk. I'm gonna go with this, man. We gonna have a part 2 of this on another time. What I've learned from both of these situations is people that believe everything in that Bible, and there's people who don't believe everything in that Bible. I don't think it's good or I don't think it's bad. I use my discernment and I trip off people's energy.
Right.
I trip off the fruit that you bear. You know what I'm saying? I praise the Most High. I'm not all the laws. I feel like I just do that naturally. I feel like I do it. I ain't saying I do it. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I do it. I try to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good with my morals. I'm great with that, and I give it all to him because I don't know how the fuck I got it. I love it though. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's with what you saying. I understand why I understand. I know you don't, but I understand. I do understand why. Because if you believe what's in that Bible, you can't do nothing but believe that. You know what I'm saying? So I get that, and I don't think it's a bad thing of what you're saying. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because it is grace. We ain't here for shit. You know what I'm saying? It's waking up for a reason. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Understand? I don't mean to cut you off, but understanding the dispensations of grace and mercy, they renew every day. You get a new batch every day. Same. Your ATM card. You want a new batch every day? I ran through 1 million yesterday. But when I wake up in the morning, I'm promised another 1 million. That's grace and mercy. It's renewed every day. That's why I'm loving we under the dispensation. That's why I'm loving Christ died for the sins of me, that knew me before I was formed in my mother's womb. That's truth. I don't know what nobody else believe. I know what Daddy Rich believed.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I love the dialogue because this is my brother to the end.
Oh,
I love me some YKBN, you know. But it's good to put this out here, man, to give people,
we need that, man.
Give people a different look at it. It ain't just about hip hop.
Right.
Because that talent had to come from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's for me, it's the acknowledgement of.
Yes, look what we talking about.
You know what I'm saying? It's the acknowledgement of on a Sunday. We got preachers and teachers in here on a Sunday. You know what I'm saying, man? It feels real good to have this dialogue, man, and hopefully more to come down the road, as you say, part 2.
Because this one thing, this is how YKBN helped me, and that's why I listen to you, and that's why I'm always open for what you tell me, bro, and what you teaching me, and what you going to research, and I have. When we first got together, he did it just like he talking to you. He was talking to me, and I'm just like, bro, chill out, man. I'm hearing you, bro. I just need to understand, because I read the Bible. I didn't think I was in the Bible. I never read the Bible like it was me, like I was, Abraham, like I was a descendant of the Bible. So that's what he brought to me, and when I started thinking more on that level, it took me to a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? I naturally don't really get as deep as how YKBN get. I'm on, Most High put me here to do what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So I love it. I need that energy, and I would love for YKBN to continue to do this. Make sure y'all check them out on Israel United, 12:30 about 2ish, and man,
Saturday.
Tune into that shit, because I don't think he be scaring people. I ain't no pussy type of person. He ain't. I like that type of energy.
It's only a certain few that's gonna get scared by that.
But that's what the word is designed to do: draw, push.
Oh, yeah,
bring it. You know what I'm saying? And continue to do that, bro, because I don't think you wrong. You know what I'm saying?
You could tell you heard the passion. Yeah. I mean, that was just pure passion. That's what I heard. That's all I heard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So,
I feel it.
With that being said, I would like on the next one, if you could, show us what's not true. And you can take a few other by whatever the what you call it,
Scripture.
Yeah, in the scripture. Please outline to us what's in that book, what is not true, and you already explained why it ain't true. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to know that, and I know a lot of people need to know. That's where we don't know. If you just believe in the book as it's taught, what you talking about ain't even in that book. You know what I'm saying? It's discernment, like you said it. You read something and comprehend it. Okay, this is what this is. So this part don't go with this part. That's what you telling. That's what you saying. You got to be able to comprehend what's not true in that book, but that is already that's a problem. That's a problem. That's already a problem because you saying that book ain't true. So I'm the type of person, if you say this book ain't true, I'm throwing the whole damn book out. I'm just saying. That's just what type of person I am. If you saying that, if something false in that book and you want me to decipher it, I'm just gonna throw the book out. Cause that ain't what I'm reading that for.
That's gray area.
I'm not reading that for that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Right on, man. Everybody on this motherfucker, right on. I'm here having fun, you know what I'm saying?
All day.
This is work to me, you know what I'm saying? I work for my father, you know, I'm servant, you know what I'm saying, first.
Yes, sir.
So I worship on yes a bit. I serve that, you know what I'm saying? Check that yes right here, United Out and come worship with us. You know, it's all good. I'm gonna say our people, man, we've been through a lot of shit, but we still got a lot more shit to go through, man. We still got a long way to motherfucking go. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say that, you know, and the Bible, the law, statutes, and commandments, bro, is what I go out for.
All day.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to talk about like the different change, if you're not willing to go into researching the history of what you believe in so passionate, then that shows your character. Because if you're willing to go so wholeheartedly about what you believe in, you need to be well educated on it. And the Bible, Jesus ain't in Hebrew.
Yeah.
In the Bible, scripture is a Hebraic thing. That's a Mosaic thing. That's an Old Testament, old school thing. That ain't no New Testament, new school shit. So we need to start expanding what we looking at, not just looking at shit for face value. Like wars wasn't fought over this, what we talking about. It's been a lot of hard work to change this thing. It's been a lot of it. And we need to go and see why we are, you know, I don't even want to put this shit on just like race theme, because I'm not trying to see like African Americans are like I'm not trying to go that route, but I want like people in general, you know what I'm saying? I know everybody got a commonality of like love and you want to be nice. Let's start there. If you there, then let's look into these laws, statutes, and commandments. Let's start right there. I don't give a fuck if you Christian, motherfucking Muslim or Arabic. I don't give a fuck what nation you is. Let's start with the love there. You know, let's start at that. Let that be a ground point, and then let's work from there.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Period.
I like that. All right, man. This was an extended Philosophy Show today. And you know what? It was well worth it. So I'm you know what? That's gonna help my job. Not next week because we're not gonna be here next week. I will be in Bowling Green, Kentucky. But the next time we do this, man, I really won't. Cause I'm sorry, I ain't gonna. I don't. I'm an honest man. I need you to point out what I don't need to be believing in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I think that will help other people also to start researching, because I think that's you said. I don't see why you don't understand, and I think you do understand. You just like motherfucker get smarter, motherfucker, because of this. You know what I'm saying? But that's a confusion. If what you telling me, which I believe,
well, no, it's really not. That's what I forgot to say. It's really not a confusion, and it is not. The thing is,
hold on before you keep going. YKBN, it's a confusion.
Well.
That's why we're not doing it.
If you read the Bible,
so this man ain't read the Bible.
He's going off the New Testament.
No. We just asked him.
He's not reading the Old Testament. No. I'm asking your question. No.
Okay, you just said no. Have you read this Bible?
The Old Testament?
Okay. That's all.
Read it all, man.
That's why. That's the understanding.
To me,
but you don't go off the Old Testament. You go off the New Testament.
I read the whole thing because one doesn't trump the other.
That's what I'm saying. That's all.
It's the whole
that's
thing.
all I'm saying.
See, if we cherry pick it, that's gonna add to the confusion.
That's what I'm saying.
It's all or nothing with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't disregard the Old Testament, but what I want understood is they both work hand in hand.
I get
from
that.
the beginning to the end.
But I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not. I never in one time disagreed with that, and I explained to y'all what the scriptures was. So I didn't disagree with what you're saying. But did the Bible, was it tampered with?
Anything that comes on this earth gonna be tampered with.
Okay, so you agree that it was tampered with. Was it tampered? Was books taken out and books put in?
From your research, that's
well, not.
I haven't researched that.
Okay. So that really can't be a okay, cool. Yeah, I can agree with that. That can't really be a conversation like that.
Whether it's been taken out.
Okay. So I need to come with some information on books being taken out and books being put in.
Yes.
I can reference right now the Council of Nicaea.
You have.
Mm-hmm.
So look into that and see what happened in the Council of Nicaea. This is where they started putting books in and taking books out.
Yes. That's what I'm That's what I'm talking about. All right, y'all. Hey, we about to get up out of here. I hope you love what we did, baby, because I'm going to have some reels for your ass real soon. Hey, it's all about the Most High when it all comes down.
Yeah.
Hey,
absolutely.
Much love, y'all.
Yeah.
We out.
Just a little bit,
I'm so in it. I ain't got shit set up.
That was the shit.
Man, it was.
That was
it
the
really
shit.
was, man. You don't.
What's up, Witty World? Science and 93.9. Floyd Board, St. Louis. You know what it is. I love my city. We got it going on. Plus we grind every day. Got them cartons. Even got the blue, block to block, corner to corner. You know how we do it. Grind every day. That's what it is. I call it home. Floyd Boy, I miss you, drop. St. Louis, my city. St. Louis, my home. 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 St. Louis, my home. St. Louis, my city. St. Louis, What you want, I'm where it's at. If you got the dough, I'll show you what a product is. Stories never told, cases still cold. Trials never close, cause the jury gets frozen. And law about itself, still no justice for us. It's like the Wild Wild West. Yeah, St. Louis, St. Louis, my city. St. Louis, my city. St. Louis, my home. St. Louis, my home. St. Louis, my city. St. Louis, my city. St. Louis, my home. St. Louis, my home. St. Louis, my city. St. Louis, my home. St. Louis, my home. St. Louis, my city. St. Louis, my city. St. Louis, my home. St. Louis, my home. Showtime, Posse my city needs some action. They say that I can't make it, I might be show me. Savage stand up off our village. Billikens rap the shapers. No matter what you're doing, under the yards they make some haters. Get around ass brother. If you got it, I'll come get it. And if you got a problem, you can come pay me a visit. From Lee Bay to Bell Fountain, downtown to West County. It's money all around us. Out of town is coming find us in the club. Hey, poppin' after 3 a.m. And if you ain't ready to turn it in and cross that bridge, for the party never ends. Till some lies come again. Out of town to say your friends. And Seattle's all in.